Edmonton Sports Talk. My God. Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer. The Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today. You know what, Reid? You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest.
Just got back today. Them wild-eyed boys that had been away haven't changed, had much to say. But man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. I told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said,
it's a bird. It's a plane. It's Oh, no, it's a plane. It's the Winnipeg Jets, actually. Here they are. Big showdown tonight at Rogers Place. The Winnipeg Jets, Western Conference leading 47-18-4, taking on your Edmonton Oilers, who have won 3 straight and are 40-24-4. 7 o'clock game at Rogers Place. We have you covered with a lot of setup stories throughout the afternoon. And then at 6 o'clock, the stream goes over to Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Leon Draisaitl, don't think he's going to play tonight, listed as doubtful by head coach Chris Knobloch. You'll hear from Knobloch comments on a couple other topics when we get to the oil understood for GCL Diesel a little bit later on. But yeah, good all-Canadian matchup. The Jets having an awesome season, and the Oilers trying to go after their 4th victory in a row. Winnipeg, 7 points better than the next best team in the West. That's the Dallas Stars, and tied for first overall with Washington. I guess Washington would have the tiebreaker because they do have a game in hand. Jason Milne is back after a few days off. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Reid. Thank you. I feel good. Feels good to be back in the chair, you know. It's only been 4 days.
It's good to see you. Yeah, but it was a good little break.
It was.
We are, of course, in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. That's new since the last time you were here.
It looks lovely.
Canadian Brewhouse. Craving a quick bite? Try the Canadian Brewhouse Express lunch, served in under 15 minutes, or it's free. Try the ribeye smash burger or turkey club sandwich Monday to Friday until 2 p.m. And it is the first full day of March Madness. I mean, the tournament officially started a couple days ago with the play-in games, 2 yesterday and 2 on Tuesday. But full-on madness today, multiple games going on at the same time. Brackets and hearts being broken.
Clemson's getting destroyed by McNeese.
Okay, so what always happens? A 12 beats a 5.
Always. It's like
all the time. But this is a blowout. It's halfway through the second half. Clemson has scored 29 points in 31 minutes of basketball.
Reid, anything can happen. It's March Madness. They could come back. Highly unlikely, but they could.
Highly unlikely. So this is McNeese leading Clemson 48-29. Where is McNeese?
That's a great question. And actually, you could ask that about the majority of the teams playing here, unless it says, North Carolina State.
Right.
Or where they are.
So at 12
Lake Charles, Louisiana.
And you were saying, we were talking off air this morning, that you have been to High Point University?
Yeah, they were playing earlier. They ended up losing to Purdue.
And that was a 4 and a 13, I think.
Yeah.
We should have brought our brackets in here.
It was. You're right.
So a 12 has beaten a 5 31 times since 1985. So about a third of the time. A 12 beats a 5. Over a third of the time, 35.26%. It happened twice last year. It did not happen in 2023. It happened twice in 2022, once in 2021. Now, there was not a tournament in 2020. In 2019, in 3 of the 4 12 versus 5 games, the number 12 won. So this is one of those upsets that maybe is no longer considered a huge upset. But McNeese is
They're piling it
route.
on.
I'm just like, they have all the scores for the games, and the largest, there was a 14-point game, Oregon State 70, Tennessee 56. Oh, Murray State beat Marquette by 19 back in 2019. So yeah, I guess there's some that maybe got out of hand, but this one is like, this one's over.
Well, and of course, it happens to the team that I had projected, that being Clemson, going to the Sweet 16. Actually, no, I had Clemson in my Final Four. I'm screwed.
Well, in our EST bracket, and I think the one I did with my buddy Mark, I had Louisville, a number 8 seed in the Final Four.
Oh.
And they're out. Very first game of the tournament.
So just look at us, a couple losers.
We're
here,
all
eh?
losers. If you would like to be a loser with us, jump into the Nasty Chat on YouTube, chat with us, chat with each other, give us a thumbs up as well. If you're streaming the audio on EdmontonSportsTalk.com through the TuneIn app or the iHeartRadio app, we thank you. Remember, wherever you are, whether it's a subscription or a favorite or a like, do that so we show up whenever you log into that app, and encourage other people to do that as well. On Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube, we're pushing for 12,000. We're a little over 500 subscribers away, so let's get there. That's pretty cool. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You should have seen the limericks on Monday, on St. Paddy's Day. I think I had 7 or 8 limericks. That was probably, that would have been a new record. Already have one limerick coming in today, so we'll get to that a little bit later on. And of course, I don't have to monitor the text line as well anymore. You're back doing that. The afternoon inbox, 780-218-9999, presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. Lots of Oilers-Jets discussion today. Our own Sean Bell is going to join us. Jamie Thomas from Winnipeg will check in. We love having him on the show. He used to work here in Edmonton. We'll look into the seasons that Hellebuyck and Draisaitl are having. Too bad that we likely won't see Draisaitl shooting on Hellebuyck tonight, but a lot to get to with tonight's big game. But let's just so Jay, I know you tuned in a couple times while you were gone. But I was joking, not joking, a couple days ago, because you sent me these stats. And I said, "Oh, neat."
Yeah,
as a way of not
I heard
asking,
your explanation about it.
I didn't understand what was happening.
And I it was fine for you. You could have asked me what this all means, but this is an app called Ski Tracks. So it tracks your top speed, how much terrain elevation wise you've covered, how many runs you've done. There's a lot of information on this, actually. And it's just, we always do it, because I go on this trip with my family and my cousins, and we do it for max speed. So as you can see, the max speed, you can't see it but my max speed was 91.4 kilometers.
But you have to have your phone on you while you're skiing. Is that safe?
Your phone on you?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a rotary phone, Reid.
Well... But what if it falls out while you're skiing? You'll lose it in the snow.
In your pocket.
Oh, okay. It's not too cumbersome?
No. You skied vertical, the slope, how long you skied, how many runs you did.
Oh, so that's what you were sending me.
That's what I was sending you.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
I skied 34.3 kilometers distance-wise in one day.
And so and your top speed was 91K an hour?
91 kilometers an hour.
What top speed would ski racers be going at on the World Cup downhill circuit?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Probably faster? Or do you think you're as fast as them?
No, probably double that. Double it.
Really?
And I did do the run. I did do the Super G run. We were at one day at Lake Louise.
Oh, neat.
So did that, did the whole... Fantastic. Lake Louise is beautiful.
It was the actual Super G run?
Well, you have to find your way.
Okay,
but it's not still marked.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. It's not like, hey, go to town.
They don't have cowbells and orange fences out still, but no, it was good. It was a good trip.
Now, do all your kids enjoy skiing, or do they do it because Dad likes it?
Oh, no.
They all like it?
You couldn't pry them off the hill.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So we stayed up at Kicking Horse, and we have this house that we rent. And so it's 5 minutes. You're right to your house. And, it's like we did 14 runs. That's a lot of runs to do in a day.
Oh,
But with
okay.
kids, they can handle that. For me, my legs were getting tired. So I was like, girls, it was like just about 3:00 and the lift shut down at 4. So I said, do you want to do one more? And they talked me into going right to the end.
Oh, wow.
Like they did not want to get off.
So they love it.
yeah. it's
Okay.
fine.
Awesome. Well, thanks for explaining those stats because I'm not a skier, so I don't have a lot of context for that. And I would be afraid to ski with my cell phone.
Would you?
It might fall out.
It's in a zipped up pocket. I don't know. I've never even thought
It's
of that.
extra weight.
Reid, I took videos while I'm skiing and I pulled
I
my
saw
phone
that.
out.
I was
and-
like, how did you go? How are you skiing downhill and taking video of other people skiing downhill?
Well-
You're going to lose your balance.
clearly not.
Are there safety people on the hills who might say, whoa, enough tomfoolery? Or, hey, buddy, phone down, 2 hands on the
Listen,
poles.
the telltale sign of a let's say a rookie skier or somebody that maybe shouldn't be there is the jacket's unzipped,
Okay.
the hands are out wide, poles are out wide, jacket's out wide, flailing in the
Well, I
wind.
would not. Yeah, I would have my
No
jacket
helmet,
done up.
usually sunglasses, not goggles. You can tell who you should maybe approach.
Okay.
Me, I must look like a world-class skier out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason I can come up with. But yes, there's ski
People
patrol.
were like, oh, Alberto Tombo is taking some video.
Alberto Tombo.
Hey, La Bamba, what did they call him? La Bamba Tomba?
I don't know.
Is he still alive? I don't know if he's still alive.
Alberto Tomba.
You remember him?
He was the slalom.
Yeah, I think he was in Calgary in '88.
What's the really quick one?
That's slalom.
Is it slalom?
Yeah. And Super G is just
Like a
longer
elongated course.
Yeah, there's giant slalom, and then there's a Super G. Well,
He
I
was
think
a-
the Super G is almost downhill, I think. Maybe it's tighter turns. I don't know. We're really offending people who know a lot about skiing right now.
Bad day.
So then...
Yeah, go ahead.
So then yesterday, by the way, it was great to have Sid Smith join me for an hour. Former
fantastic.
boss at 630 Ched. Great conversation there. Did you know he had once had a key to Northlands Coliseum?
I heard that. That is incredible.
That was...
I think we should go test it out and look for those pink keyholes.
Yeah, we need to get in there.
And just go check out
But I
the
think
place.
there are probably wild animals in there.
You think?
Well, maybe I'm probably exaggerating.
I mean, obviously there's mice and whatnot, but do you think there's maybe some sort of a mountain lion that's found its way into there? Or, as you suggested yesterday, coyotes? I don't think coyotes are in
Probably
there.
not.
I mean, who knows?
Well, I think, wasn't somebody in there just recently for some sort of a tour or getting something? I don't know. It'd be
In
weird.
there?
Yeah.
It'd be weird in there. It would be gross. Imagine how much dust has
He was
accumulated
already
in
getting
there.
gross while we were still working. Like I told you about the macaroni that never got cleaned up.
Oh, gosh, yes.
So anyway, but Sid was ice fishing in Northern Ontario. So the off-topic topic, and we'll get to today's off-topic topic in a couple of minutes. I think people are going to like this one. So my off-topic topic was, where's the best place to fish? And you were one of many people who said, wow, Reid, break etiquette much? And I was like, what are you talking about, breaking etiquette?
No, I did not say that.
Well, you
I
didn't
didn't
say
say wow, Reid.
Other
I just
people
said, hey,
suggested
Reid,
that.
I just text you privately. Not that I'm offended it got out on air, but I'm just saying, I text you and I said, look, real fishermen probably won't say where their spot is. Like I know Liquid Beaver. He listens. He's always around in our events, and we've talked fishing. He's got a nice fishing boat. I still don't know where he fishes.
Okay.
He might. He did say he would take me, but I don't know if it's a 2-hour drive or a 7-hour drive. You want to keep those under wraps because, like you said, fish are there. Once they're caught, they're gone.
Right. Yeah. If it's not and that's what, and Sid explained that, and other people said, if it's a place that isn't going to get restocked, you don't want the fish just disappearing. You want it just for yourself. But Sid told the story, the place where he fishes in the summer in Northern Ontario, he will park in a misleading location and then take a circuitous path through the bush to get to this creek.
Sure.
Because he doesn't want his car and footsteps near where he's actually going, where he winds up.
It's a real thing.
Yeah. Which I thought was pretty neat.
Well, good for Sid. That was an excellent.
But I learned
interview.
a lot, which was great because I really don't know nothing about fishing.
And nobody would be like, "Oh, Reid, you jackass." Why would you?
I think people were definitely like that.
But you're just wondering. You're always wondering. You're never too old to learn something new.
Well, I'm definitely not.
But I will say, and I bet you a lot of people said outside of the province of Alberta, right?
A lot of people are advocating for northern Saskatchewan, even Albertans.
Yeah, which is, okay, I'll say one place we go, which is Waterhen Lake, which is north of Meadow Lake Provincial Park.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Beautiful. Do you remember a player, he used to play in the NHL, DJ King?
No.
He played for the LA Kings, oddly
Okay,
enough.
I do not remember him.
And he's on the World Pro Chuckwagon Association now.
Oh, really?
As a driver.
Oh, we got to talk to him.
He owns a place up there.
We got to get Greg Buchanan to get him on for us.
Yes. I don't know if he's still chuckwagon driving, but he owns a place up there. I think it's called Kakaw Lodge.
Okay.
That's where we would go.
Oh, neat.
Yep. They rent you the boat and everything.
But it's different to say, oh, hey, I like this lake, and it's a common touristy lake with like thousands of fish or that gets restocked with fish. That's different to say I like to go there as opposed to I like the Jablonski fishing hole, you know?
Right, yeah.
Jablonski! Don't tell anybody about the fishing hole!
I was wondering.
Don't tweet that, Jablonski! I'm just going to catch a mackerel.
I've actually, and this is whatever, because Sylvan Lake's probably one of the bigger lakes. I mean, Slave Lake's got great fishing.
Right.
But there's really limits on what you can keep now, too. Right?
Well,
Like,
was Sid saying
you pretty much
all
cannot
of Alberta
keep
is
a
catch and
walleye.
release? Or
I don't
most
know,
of
Reid.
Alberta?
It's been a while since I've fished in Alberta, but I know even before. Like, we would this was probably over 10 years ago. My dad and I would go up to Slave Lake, and you would be able to keep one walleye at a certain size. The specs were...
Oh, right, okay.
Right? But I wouldn't be surprised if you could not keep anything, even jackfish.
Okay.
Right?
Wow, I've learned a lot about fishing over the last couple of days. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. We're off to a good start. We want to get to, first 100, then we'll focus on 130, and then 155 to get into double word of the day territory. Both words of the day yesterday were listener submitted, but Jay, you're back with words loaded up and ready to go today. But give us that thumbs up on YouTube. Big game coming up tonight between the Oilers and the Jets.
I did have to say, I thought it was funny that you thought you were getting hen-weighed with the Len Thompson when somebody sent you about Len Thompson's. And you're like, I don't know what Len Thompson is.
Yeah,
but if
I thought, is that like a porn star they're making me say the name of? I don't know.
You've seen Len Thompson. Red Devils. It's a spoon lure. So it's like an oval shaped.
Okay.
Yellow with red diamond. That's the 5 of diamonds. Then there's the Red Devil, which is red with a white stripe. You've seen it before.
Okay. How if I don't fish?
It's not like it's part of Alberta. They're made, I think, in Lacombe.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to Google it and tell me if you haven't seen that.
All right. Well, maybe in pictures or like fishing pictures or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
you've seen a lot I haven't been exposed to.
You've seen that lure.
Sure.
Okay.
Where would I see it though? Like I don't look at lures.
I guess that's right. If you're actually not, like if you just have never fished.
Like I wouldn't even process that, right?
True enough.
It would be like, how many little dots does Riker have on his collar?
Well, there is a beer that's called the 5 of Diamonds.
Yeah,
Pilsner.
5 of Diamonds Pilsner. That's a Blind Man Brewing.
Yes, that's
after
after
what
Len
it's named
Thompson.
after? Okay. Well,
Because
now
yes, that's right. Because Blind Man's in Lacombe, and so is Len Thompson's factory.
Yeah, Blind Man has good stuff. Their session ale is very good.
So you have seen the 5 of Diamonds. It just happened to be on a can of beer.
Let's do the off-topic topic after the break. Jamie Thomas is coming up. Comments from Connor McDavid. Oh, we didn't even mention the Prime Minister skated with the Oilers today. Mark Carty, who spent a good chunk of his formative years in Edmonton and is an Oilers fan, was out there for the morning skate. I think he's usually a goaltender, but he was out I saw a little bit of video of him making some passes and doing stuff like that. All right, we'll do a break now. We'll do the off-topic topic. We'll dive deeper into the Oilers-Jets showdown. Jason Milne is back on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Edmonton's Leon Draisaitl is doubtful with an undisclosed injury as the Oilers face the Jets. Plus, Evander Kane practiced during the team's optional skate this morning. You can catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they tee up the action live at 6 right here on EST. 13 other games around the NHL. Montreal hits the ice in Long Island. The Blue Jackets and Panthers go at it before St. Louis hosts Vancouver. And March Madness is underway. 5 games wrapped up, and the only upset had 9th-ranked Creighton beating 8th-ranked Louisville 89-75. Right now, 3 games are live. 5th place Clemson trails 12th place McNeese 51-37. 6 minutes to go in the second half of that game. And Gonzaga holding Georgia 37-18. 5 minutes left in the first half. 5 games around the NBA. The Raptors and Warriors go at it. Luka Doncic of the Lakers takes a maintenance day to rest his right ankle. It's Bucks and Lakers tipping off. And CONCACAF Nations League semifinal has Canada taking on Mexico down in LA. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or call them at 780-467-5014. The off-topic topic and so much more on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
2 guys and a goalie.
Playing Winnipeg, so you're playing a really good team. Leon's probably going to be out, and you know that Leon's been doing everything. And so for Connor, I kind of feel like it could be some very positive motivation. I mean, there's not a lot of people or things that can push him or challenge him. And I feel like this is one where it's like, well, maybe mentally and emotionally, it can pull that out of him a little bit.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
UFC 314 goes down at the Canadian Brewhouse on April 12th. Watch every knockout on the most TVs with epic food and drinks in the best atmosphere. Don't miss the action. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, thanks a lot for tuning in this afternoon. We got the ESTV fired up with some NCAA basketball. McNeese crushing Jay Milne's heart. What are they up 17 with about 4 minutes left? So it's going to be number 12 McNeese over number 5 Clemson. Clemson had it down to 20. It's over. It's over.
4:20 left.
It's over.
They're on the line. They can make this a 15-point game, right? I mean, stranger things have happened. They don't call it March weakness. They call it March madness, Reid.
Fair enough. This would be madness.
If they came back and won this, I would be tickled pink. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'd be happy for you.
Thank you, because it's really going to hurt my feelings if this happens.
Yeah.
And Corey B, by the way, sent in into the River Cree inbox, which you can send us whatever you like at 780-218-9999. He sent me a screenshot of his bracket. He chose McNeese State over Clemson.
Oh, wow.
So
I wonder if I did. I don't even know if I did or not. Hey, Iwanek. He's never here when you need him. Probably out suntanning again.
He does have quite a tan. Wow.
Yeah, we was in Mexico for like 4 weeks or something.
Yeah, good for him.
Is this the first time you've seen him in 2.5 weeks?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, 3 extra days you went without seeing him.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Thanks a lot for checking out the show. Do I dare slap people?
Dealer's choice.
I'm like, look, everybody, if you're going to get mad at me because I said that the Prime Minister of Canada skated with the Oilers, then you and the guy are going to have a very rocky relationship. Okay? Mark Carney is the Prime Minister of Canada. That is not a political statement on my part. That is not a statement of endorsement or non-endorsement or anything. Mark Carney is the Prime Minister of Canada. Yes, everybody, I understand he has not won a seat in an election. I also understand the Prime Minister of Canada is the leader of the party with the most seats. Like, if you're seriously going to spend your time in the nasty chat and on the text line getting mad at me because I said the Prime Minister of Canada skated with the Oilers, you are truly pathetic. Like, seriously. Like, it was a fun fact about the day at Oilers practice. I would think if I didn't say that, I would be missing out one of the little tidbits of the day. Okay? I understand how the Canadian political system works. I don't think I should have to explain, but by the way, he hasn't won a seat and there's going to be okay, it's how we do things in Canada and in the provinces as well.
You were just stating facts.
I was just stating a fact, and now I've said it's so volatile. Anything you say about anything to do with a politician or a political party or the Prime Minister was there. That's it.
That's it.
Fun little bit, and he cheers for the Oilers. That's a fun little thing. But apparently, I've done something for some people incredibly evil that I have to go. But really, what's happening is a lot of people are proving they don't even understand how our political system works. Like, I seriously have people angry at me saying he's not the Prime Minister. Actually, he is. Maybe you don't like that he is.
That's a fair point.
Maybe you don't like how our system works or chooses the Prime Minister, but the fact is he is the Prime Minister. And again, me saying that is not an indication of my beliefs or voting preferences one way or the other. It's interesting that this even needs saying.
Don't be dissuaded, Reid. Just stay the course, baby.
Well, I'm going to. I mean,
that's why it's called the Reid Wilkins Show.
Well, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. That's yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what to do.
Nah, it is what it is. But in saying that, I did not know he was a third string goalie at Harvard.
Yeah, he played hockey. Yeah,
crazy. And he was wearing goalie skates out there. True to form. Right?
Yes, it was just pretty interesting. Yeah.
I wonder, he didn't bring his own skates. He would have had to.
I don't know. You know what I mean? That would have been a good question to find out. Do you travel with your skates?
Just in case?
You go around the country? Yeah, just in case an NHL team invites you on the ice. Anyway, so that's a tidbit from Oilers morning skate. Draisaitl doubtful. Evander Kane was on the ice today as well, but still no word about his return, if and when that's going to happen. We don't know the exact line combinations for tonight. We do know, based on what Knobloch said, that McDavid, Jeff Skinner, and Hyman will remain a line. We'll speculate a little bit more on the lines when we get into the Oil Understood at 4 o'clock, and we'll have some audio from Knobloch and Connor McDavid as well. The off-topic topic, as always, presented by the excellent people at William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. So do you want to do this one? This was your idea. Last night you thought of this because we have dozens of NCAA games today.
Yeah, just this to me. By the way, it's a 10-point game with 3 minutes left. They have.
If Clemson won, that'd be amazing.
I mean, it would be spectacular. To me, this is the greatest sports day of the year. Now, I love it. I love the madness. And you guys know this now. We do the game of the night segment for Play More Tables and Games. Play more tables and games.
We need more volume.
And I like the late games. And I tell you why. It's because I can put the kids to bed and act like a normal human and watch a live sporting event.
Right.
You get tons of late games here. So these first 4 days kick off, like today kicks off the best sports period. But today, for me, is the best sports day of the year. I want to know from you, Nasties, what is your best sports day of the year? It could be Masters Sunday, which I totally would get. It could be Super Bowl Sunday. It could be the Grey Cup. It could be the Stanley Cup. Let us know. Send us in your responses to the River Korean Buck, 780-218-9999. But that is your off-topic topic for the one and only William Huff. What is your best sports day of the year, Riedrich?
It would not be this day.
I got that.
Though it is pretty fun, all the basketball. And certainly, when I was going to university, if you only have like 3 or 4 hours of classes, then you can be like, homework can wait.
Right.
It's a Thursday. It can wait.
Exactly.
And you can watch these games all day. For me, I think it would still be Super Bowl Sunday and Grey Cup Sunday. Because when it is long in advance. It's obviously the championship game. To me, it goes along with spending time with family or friends and maybe having a beer or two and having some snacks or things like that. So as much as, hockey's number one, I go with the big event games. Now, I will say I do like golf, and Masters Sunday would be up there for me as well, but I'd have to pick. I'd have to pick the football championship days, Grey Cup and Super Bowl. As much as this is fun to watch sports all day, it's the beginning of the tournament. Like I'd sooner have a championship day as my best sports day of the year.
That's fair enough. And Pizza Boy, yes, WrestleMania counts. Of course it counts. It's entertainment. It's a sport. May not be a real sport, but it would count. This one's interesting. C-Run says Stanley Cup Finals is pretty awesome, and he specifies why. You have golf, football, baseball, and so many other sports on at one time. Right? So there's a lot going on at that time.
Sorry, what day was that?
Well, during the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh.
There's other playoffs going on. There's other sports going on. Heck, there's even CFL going on by that point.
Yeah, I guess, but you don't know what the day is ahead of time. Like there's sometimes there's like there may or not like there was a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final in 2024. We didn't know there was going to be until the Oilers won the game on the Friday, and then the Game 7 was on the Monday. But yeah, some people might say the first day of the first round of the playoffs in the NHL, because the playoffs start. There's usually 4 games on.
Yeah.
So that would be a big day as well. But yeah, some people might say the Thanksgiving Thursday in the NFL if you take it off work. I wonder if anybody's going to say the day that Madden gets released. Maybe that's not the day it used to be, but I know people used to take the day off work to sit and play Madden all day.
Gaming is a sport now.
Gaming is it's a sports day. It's sports related.
Van Owen says, although it's a shadow of its former self, I'll take the Indy 500.
Yeah, some people might say, you've been to the Kentucky Derby? That would be a big
Derby
day
Day's
for horse
a big
racing.
Day?
Yeah.
What about Daytona 500? I mean, that's one of the only sports that kicks off their year with the biggest event.
Yeah, I've always found that strange.
I do too, but
But they do it.
I'm into Daytona Sunday.
All right, so we'll see what we get for William Huff, the off-topic topic. What is the best sports day of the year? This is a pretty fun day. Clemson within 9, but only a minute 38 left. This is the fun thing about this tournament. Like for the next 5 minutes, Jay Milne's happiness hinges on how Clemson does in this game. But then once it's over, like 2 minutes after the game, you'll be fine.
Yes.
It's like, okay, well,
that's the best part of it, though,
my bracket.
Because you
now you just hope somebody else's brackets get ruined and you're right back in it.
You've no connection to any of these teams. Like, other than maybe Mike, the Michigan fan, wants Michigan to go.
Or like Steve Sir played
right
in the NCAA tournament.
But that's the beauty of it, is because you don't really care about you. Unless you're in a big money bracket thing, then go ahead. But all my brackets are either free or $20, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Just makes these games a little bit more meaningful, right?
Aidan O'Neill with a good one. Best sports day of the year. The day the Leafs get eliminated from the playoffs. I did not think he was going to come at it from that angle.
Well,
that's pretty good, though.
To each their own. Grey Cup is definitely my favorite. This comes in from Andrea from Calgary. Grey Cup is definitely my favorite sports day of the year. We travel with a group of friends, Team YYC, to wherever it is, and the festivities leading up to it add to the excitement. Andrea from Calgary, if I'm not mistaken, was the one that went all this way to BC to go to the Grey Cup, and one of the friends forgot tickets.
Oh, I remember that story. Yeah. Okay. We better start the mystery athlete of the game clues for Hudson's Canada's Pub. Hudson's Canada's Pub. You're invited down tonight for the Oilers game. Fridays and Saturdays after 9 p.m. Late night happy hour specials. Food starting at $4. Drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. You must text in your guesses to the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox 780-218-9999. Maximum 3 guesses per person. I always say it's not hard to do it, and I am not as efficient as you, but even me doing it myself the last couple of games, it's like people know, there's no way he'll know if it's my 4th guess. We'll know. Okay, we'll know. So the first clue is science. That is the first clue. The first clue is science.
Science!
For the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. And we'll have, we'll see how quickly someone gets it. Maybe someone gets it here. I mean, it's possible.
Is it, though?
Yep.
I suppose it is. Highly unrealistic, though, to do that.
You must put your guesses. You can only win by texting in your guess. If you put a guess in the nasty chat or email us, we just ignore it.
Yep.
We don't refer to it. It's just done. Okay? So you must text 780-218-9999. Somebody win already?
No, there's our first Bill Nye. We talked about that. And Big U gets David Beckham.
Well, I guess that's now an automatic clue. It's that it's not. It's never been David Beckham. It's never been David Beckham. So we can't rule it. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. All right. We'll see what Jamie Thomas's favorite sports day of the year is. He's going to give us a little bit of a Jets angle about tonight's big game. Don't forget, we got coverage all afternoon until 6, and then at 6 o'clock, the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan. Going to be a fun one tonight at Rogers Place. Here comes the Coop.
Oilers star Leon Draisaitl is doubtful tonight against the Jets due to an undisclosed injury, and Evander Kane suited up for today's optional skate this morning. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas have the details as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6, only on EST. 14 total games on tap, including Vegas hosting Boston, Vancouver on the road in St. Louis, and the Flames battling the Devils. In 5 games around the association, Raptors hit the court to challenge the Warriors. The Bucks have a date with LeBron James, and the Lakers, LA's Luka Doncic, sits out to manage a right ankle sprain in that one. In 5 games down, 3 games are live as March Madness is in full swing. Clemson down 65-56 to McNeese. Under a minute to go in that one. VCU and BYU are on the court. BYU leading 56-39, and Gonzaga has a 48-27 lead over Georgia. And on the pitch, Canada challenges Mexico in CONCACAF semifinal action. Meanwhile, Canada's Leylah Fernandez has advanced to the 3rd round of the Miami Open, winning 7-6 over America's Celia Parks. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they have plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. More with Reid and Jay on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. Well, Jay, the miracle is still possible.
It is.
Jay's Clemson Tigers. They've become Jay's Clemson Tigers in the last 17 minutes.
Yes, very much so.
Who were once down, was it 19? They were down a lot.
It was a lot.
Are now within 5 of McNeese. It's McNeese State, isn't it?
McNeese State.
Yeah, McNeese. Actually, that's the 51st state is McNeese. But McNeese State has the ball. Oh, foul. So it's 19.9 seconds left. McNeese up. I don't even know the team name. Who are they?
That's a great question. The McNeese Mustangs? I'd say
well, we're just going to guess now based on the logo. Oh, yeah, it does look like a logo. Maybe it's the Broncos. It might be the Broncos. McNeese State team name. Any grads of McNeese State? They're the Cowboys.
Of course.
Yes. The McNeese State Cowboys leading the Clemson Tigers 67-62. Do we have JT? We got JT. We had a problem there. I think I emailed. I think I emailed him a link to the comics I need to get next week instead of the. It's like you're like, Reid, why did you send me a link to One World Under Doom #3, which is a pretty good miniseries Marvel has going right now. How you doing, buddy?
I feel like you spent too much time at the Canadian Brew House before the show today. So maybe, and like Hudson's is delicious. So a little lunch.
What we do for lunch is up to us, Jamie. Okay.
100%. 100%. You know what? I gotta get a stability thing for my laptop because it's like this when I'm talking to you all the time.
Oh, have you ever seen Bruce Boudreau on the morning show?
Oh my gosh. BB is like, he needs some work in the technology department. He's got his stuff is so good. Like he's like a wealth of information, but his like location of doing his shots needs some work. But that's we'll keep working with him on that one. He will be forgiven because of the quality of the information that he gives.
Yeah. Jamie Thomas, I didn't even introduce you, covering the Winnipeg Jets, the Ground Control podcast.
The official podcast of the
Winnipeg Jets. Formerly, was it HL Jay? You were at Edmonton? Oh, sorry.
Yes. We went to turn to City TV. A-Channel, City TV. There was the merger or something like that after the strike.
Oh yeah,
Jamie, are you
remember the strike?
Are you watching the NCAA tournament at all? Are you into that? Do you do a bracket?
Okay, so I'm a huge North Carolina fan, and I don't even know if North Carolina made the tournament.
Yes,
so,
they're one of those play-in teams.
They're one of the play-in teams.
There was like an 11 against an 11, and they won. I think. Yeah.
Let me restructure that answer. I used to pay attention all the time, and then this one and done stuff that they have going on in the NCAA bothers me. So, and then the transfer portal, I'm out. Like it's just too much. And then I'm getting mad at teenagers. So like, it's just not the same anymore. It's like so many.
Did you say you're a University of North Carolina fan? Tar Heel fan?
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Jamie? My Clemson Tigers just got knocked out. So
You're reviewing something.
Here, I'm going to do this for you right now live, okay?
Thank you.
Just hang on.
Go. Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh my God!
I'm with you now, Jamie.
I didn't even know
Jay,
that.
I'll send Reid some photos. I went to the North Carolina basketball museum when the Jets were in Raleigh a few years back. I got some great photos. Like Jordan's letter of intent is in there. The bag that he used in his couple of seasons at the University of North Carolina, and then they had this huge board of all their first round draft picks. I think it was 54 at the time. So. It was great, but as I said, the transfer portal crap, I can't get on board with this stuff anymore. So, but I love that shirt.
Well, I used to follow NCAA basketball more closely. I'm not going to say incredibly closely, but you knew, okay, Bobby Hurley is on Duke. He's going to be in the tournament 4 years in a row. Like those Michigan guys, like they're going to be there 3 or 4 years before they can get drafted. Right. And now it's like, well, I don't know, the good players, they're in which is cool. They're in the NBA next year, but it's not the same continuity with college basketball where it's like I can follow, like Duke UNLV had that 2 or 3 year rivalry. It's like I don't feel like I can follow it that much anymore.
Like I used to hate Duke with everything inside my soul. And now I'm just like, I'm 53 years old. Why am I hating these guys? I don't even know them. And they're like old enough to be my son. So it's like, it's kind of immature when you think about it after a while. Age ruins so many things. All the things I used to have fun with, like video gaming, gambling, all done, all over.
Waking
it's
up.
All done. Yes. Yes. I used to like waking up.
Trying to stand without pain. Yeah. Things like that.
Hello, cruel world. I don't know if I can do this today.
All right.
I'm reading Don't Kill Myself books.
Jeez. All right. On a much lighter note.
That's from a movie, everybody.
What is that from?
It's from Wedding Crashers.
Oh, I've seen that. I don't even remember that.
Remember Owen Wilson's character his message he's like, as he picks it up, he's like, whatever. And that's all.
All right.
Anyways, okay, the game.
What happened to the Jets the other night? A rare loss, and certainly unusual for them to lose kind of a lopsided game.
Okay, so I'm trying to make this answer without sounding like I'm drinking the blue Kool-Aid, but it's only the second time this year they gave up 6 goals. I think it's the third time Hellebuyck gave up 5 goals in a game. What I can tell you is a couple moments. They were down 3-2 in the second period. Scheifele gets absolutely robbed by Kevin Lankinen's left pad. And then a minute after that, Ehlers hits the crossbar. So the game could have been tied, and then Vancouver scores 2 goals 46 seconds apart to close the second period out. The game was a lot closer than it looked. But that being said, there were some defensive lapses that I haven't seen in quite some time. Now, should we be mad at them or concerned? I don't think so. They're still the best defensive team in the NHL right now. It was an off night. Scott O'Neill said as much after the game that there were some rush chances that they gave up, some panicking going on that you hadn't seen in a while. So it was just I will say it's a one-off ahead of this game against the Edmonton Oilers, who are obviously still trying to fight their way to first place in the Pacific Division. But I think that was just an anomaly in the schedule, and they should be ready to go again tonight.
All right. What's it like? I know we've had you on a couple times throughout the season. Yeah. And we know what Canadian hockey fans are like. It's
logical.
Totally logical, totally reasonable.
Yeah, there's all this discussion. Connor Hellebuyck's playing too much. That's why he let in so many goals the other night.
Wrong. So that was my question. Are Jets fans all in for we're going to win the President's Trophy and we're going to embrace being favorites? Or is it kind of like, I don't know, the last 2 first rounds didn't go very well?
It's amazing how quickly they go back there. They go back like another line from Superbad. People don't forget. That's like hockey fans in Canada. They don't forget the bad times for when things go south for maybe 5 minutes for this team. So listen, I think they're embracing they're getting used to this being in first place thing, which is it's really nice, and you should embrace it while it happens. They're also embracing the fact this is a pretty darn good hockey team. So I joke and I kid that they're doubting a little bit, but I feel like they're comfortable with this. I feel like they're comfortable with that was a one-off. They're comfortable with where this team is and how well they played all year. Talk to me when the first round of the playoffs start and they lose the first game or something like that, where everybody goes at that point. But I feel like there's a lot more confidence in this group than going back even to last year when they finished 4th overall and were the best defensive team in hockey. And they had the Vezina Trophy winner in net and so on and so forth. But I feel like there's more confidence in this group than there was this year last time.
Jamie, I wanted to ask you about Luke Schenn. He was acquired, obviously, at the trade deadline. Yeah. How has he fit in? I know he's only played 4 games, but what's been the thoughts here in those 4 games for the newest acquisition?
Okay, so Edmonton, much like Winnipeg, blue collar town, people like their hard workers. They do. And as much as you love skill, and there's some great amount of skill on the Oilers roster, and there's a lot of skill on this roster, the Jets flat out needed some toughness. They needed some grit. They needed some size on the back end, and he has fit in quite well. And I think one of the things that stood out the most and his media availability 3 days after they brought him at the trade deadline is, like, he said one of his favorite things to do is to go out with the guys, like his teammates, for dinner on the road, and then get to know everybody that way. And he said he's had a lot of great moments, but the stuff that stands out to him are those nights eating, going out for dinner on the road with his teammates. I think that's, the guys like him already. He's paired with Dylan Sandberg right now because Neil Pionk's out with a lower body injury, and you could just see in Sandberg's conversation with the media how much he's learned from Luke Schenn, and how can you not? The guy has had, he had a tough road to winning those Stanley Cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then gets traded twice in 24 hours too as well. And that was one thing he kind of said is, like, once you figure out and think you've seen everything in this game, then something else happens. I just think people appreciate how real he is, how good of a player he is. And he's fit in right away too. So the fact that he's quickly already moved up the second defense pairing, and that's why you make that deal, because you need more depth on your blue line. You lose Neil Pionk, who's had a comeback year for the ages for him, considering last year. I think he's been everything and more the Jets were hoping for when they got him at the deadline.
Last time we had you on, it was just a couple weeks ago, because it was the trade deadline, and all 3 teams at the top, Dallas, Colorado, and Winnipeg, added something significant that should help, or as you mentioned, fulfill the need. Yeah. with Winnipeg. Like, is there? Winnipeg's going to have to beat maybe Calgary or Vancouver, which would be fun first round all Canadian matchup. Yeah. But Colorado played last night in Toronto. By the way, what a goal to lose on that shorthanded clearing attempt that hit the referee and gave Toronto a 2-on-1. Is there?
Who would have ever thought that would happen in Toronto? Like, I just
and Kelly Sutherland thinks it's going to hit him in the head, so he dives, and then it still hits him.
Collusion.
Yeah, they're colluding. Is there, in your mind, or maybe with the how the Jets might feel or the Jets fans might feel, is there a more dangerous team out of Dallas or Colorado in terms of how they'd match up against Winnipeg?
Well, just the other day, that news came out that Miro Heiskanen won't be back for the regular season, and then could possibly not be available until the second round of the playoffs. So that puts a significant dent in Dallas. But I just think, to me, the way the Jets match up with Dallas, I think Dallas is more dangerous, if that's the proper term, because Jake Ottinger is a lights out goaltender. I'm not quite sure about the goaltending situation with Colorado. To me, another thing with Colorado, they made so many changes to their roster. I don't know how that all meshes together at this time of year. Like, I'm not saying they can't do it, and you still have Cale Makar, you still have Nathan McKinnon, the plenty of talent there. But how do all those pieces fit at one time is the big question for me for Colorado. So Dallas, to me, I think is more battle ready. I think they're the roster, to me, is a hardened roster that has success at playoff time. I was convinced last year, after what Colorado did to Winnipeg in the first round, that they were going to steamroll their way through the Stanley Cup playoffs, but Dallas put a monkey wrench in that. So I feel at this time, even with Miro Heiskanen out of the lineup, I think Dallas is the more dangerous opponent of the two.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on. Enjoy
Sure.
the link to all the comic books I sent you. And
Thank you. Hey, make sure you watch Andor one more time, buddy, before it comes out again. The second.
I got to
series.
watch it again. I don't rewatch stuff anymore. Hardly ever.
But you kind of have. I hadn't. It's amazing how much stuff I missed when I watched it the first time. But it's by far the best stuff since Kathleen Turner took over at Disney for Star Wars.
Did you watch that show with the little kids? Skeleton Crew? I didn't watch it.
I watched it for a little bit. Then again, the old man thing kicked me. I'm like, I'm watching a show made for kids. So I heard it was really good though. So I don't know. I
maybe
don't know
it's
where
still
I
worth
stood on this
watching.
one.
I think
none
I
of my
watched the first
three
episode.
kids read like Star Wars. So like I failed as a parent in that department. So it's just
How does that happen? I mean,
I don't know. You think through osmosis that one of them would, and they humor me and they watch it for a little bit, but they're just not. It's not there. It's. I don't even know what to talk about these kids. They can't even watch something that lasts more than 2 minutes anyway. So maybe 25 minutes is too long. My daughter's she already stole my phone. So
thanks for coming on, Jamie. You're a great guest
problem,
and
guys.
more importantly, a great friend. Enjoy the game tonight. I'm looking forward to this one. Draisaitl or not, doesn't look like he's going to play. We'll talk down the road.
For sure, guys. Hopefully in the playoffs.
That would be
together
something.
again.
Western Conference Final, Winnipeg, Edmonton. That would be okay.
Yeah, I accept as well.
I would take that. And then
Heck yeah.
who in the East? Toronto, Ottawa, Eastern Conference Final, All Canadian
Can you
Stanley
imagine?
Cup Final. Well, we could have every Canadian team could make the playoffs, except it'd be pretty hard for both Vancouver and Calgary to get in at this point.
Yeah,
But we
almost
could-
impossible.
But we could have Edmonton, Winnipeg. Now, Montreal, Ottawa, not a sure thing, but they're in there right now, right? Toronto's going to be in. Didn't Toronto tie Florida for first? Where's I printed standings.
Yeah, they both
Where
have
are they?
85 points. They both have the same points percentage too. 625. It's a dead heat.
Right. Well, actually, Ottawa's in by 5 points. So, I mean, Ottawa should be in. Montreal's barely in, though they do have games in hand on the Rangers. I mean, Vancouver or Calgary, they'd have to. Yeah, they're both not going to make it. But we could have 6 of 7 Canadian teams in the playoffs, which would be pretty cool.
Who do you think Winnipeg would want to see in the first round out of Vancouver, St. Louis, Calgary?
I don't know what. I mean, they probably don't care. Who would I think?
Well, I mean,
like here's the thing.
recency
You could
bias,
say
maybe not Vancouver.
You could say, you could say. You could say Calgary because Calgary can't score.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
Then you're saying, kind of saying, okay, Dustin Wolf, can you stop this power play? Like I think in a 7-game series, it'd be pretty hard for Calgary to get the goals needed. Like you can't win every game 1-0 or 2-1. Lankinen's a pretty good goalie too. And then you wonder too, I know Vancouver made some changes, but what if they wake up just a little bit, right? Or become closer to the team that they were last year? I know they don't have all those players. So I don't know. Probably the Canucks would be least favorable. Yeah, I'll do another clue.
Hey.
Do another clue.
All right, baby.
Hudson's Canada's Pub. By the way, keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. Good start. We're halfway to our goal of 155 in an hour. So, but don't slow down. Keep clicking it. Keep clicking away.
Can you play me the song? It's been a while.
Oh yeah, you haven't heard it.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
Give us the thumbs up for Jamie Thomas for the big showdown tonight between the Oilers and the Jets and Bright and Jay's day. By the way, Gonzaga. So this is the crazy thing about this tournament. It's a 9 against an 8. Should be the closest, like the biggest pick'em games in the tournament. Gonzaga is crushing Georgia. They're up 19 points at the start of the second half, early in the second half.
Crazy. And Rip City Step did say, and I know it's obvious, but the fact that this is all single elimination.
Yeah, every game's a game 7. That's
You're
the
out.
beauty of this tournament.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay, so the second clue in the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game, you must text your guesses to the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. The second clue is Oklahoma. So the first clue was science. The second clue is Oklahoma. Here comes the 4 o'clock break.
Mark Carney slotting in tonight. I saw he was out on the ice.
We'll just throw him right into Draisaitl's spot.
John Shannon said he's a new left winger, so he might be sliding in with Davo or RNH there on the second line.
He was rocking the goalie skates. I don't know if you saw that. He's a goalie, I guess. Yeah.
I thought that was good.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. A one-of-a-kind retrospective. It's Glass Tiger, This Island Earth, April 4th at River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't forget me when I'm gone. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you've got to do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
Evander Kane hit the ice for the Oilers' optional skate this morning. Meanwhile, Leon Draisaitl is doubtful to play against the league-leading Jets. Other action sees Toronto in New York to face the Rangers. Tampa Bay on the road in Dallas, while the Flyers challenge Alex Ovechkin and the Caps on a 14-game NHL slate. NBA action sees Toronto having a date with Golden State on a night with 5 games, including LA's Luka Doncic sitting out to manage his right ankle sprain as the Lakers battle the Bucks. In college ball, 6 games have wrapped up, including 5th-ranked Clemson being upset by 12th place McNeese by a score of 69-67. Right now, 2 games are live, seeing BYU holding VCU 70-55 with about 4 minutes left in the game. From LA, Canada and Mexico go head-to-head in CONCACAF semifinal action, and on the tennis court, Canada's Leylah Fernandez beat Alicia Parks of the state 7-6 to advance to the 3rd round of the Miami Open. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
So Leon Draisaitl, doubtful for tonight. Do not expect him to play against the Winnipeg Jets. Evander Kane did take part in the optional morning skate for the Oilers. We didn't get any other word about his progress, but obviously haven't seen him out on the ice with his teammates for a while. And we're intently watching NCAA games that we will probably forget the result of by the time we're done the show. But we're fully invested while we're watching. Those are your headlines. Presented by Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program. Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program, a perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. For more information and to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP to take your career to another level. The first 2 clues in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game, Science and Oklahoma. We'll give clue number 3 probably within 45 minutes, if I remember.
Lots of guesses
you'll
coming
remind
in.
me.
Lots of
but
guesses.
no winners. Science and Oklahoma.
Interesting guesses off those two clues.
Yeah.
And some of them I understand, some of them I do not. You want me to give you one that I don't understand?
No, because giving a wrong guess in itself is a clue.
Fine.
Or do you really want to?
I don't have
I broke the rule of improv. I was supposed to say yes, but I feel like with the contest,
well,
I didn't want to.
I know you don't want to get burnt. You don't want to give away something.
I think this one's not going 5 clues.
Really?
No, this one's not going 5 clues.
I think it could. I really think it could go the distance.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we're going to find out over the next 1 hour and 50 minutes. Jay and I are with you for that long. And then at 6 o'clock, GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas.
A fun fact I just want to point out, Big Uke mentioned that only 5% of brackets on Yahoo remain perfect after that McNeese win.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's such...
I don't even know who McNeese is anymore. I guess I'll have to...
I've already forgotten about that game. I've moved on to Gonzaga, Georgia, which is now on the ESTV.
The McNeese Chargers, right?
Yeah, I think they're called the Charge Boys.
Yeah.
Their logo is a power cable. All right. 780-218-9999, of course, is how you send in your guesses for the mystery athlete, or send us any other messages that you are inclined to send us. It's the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Oilers Jets at 7 o'clock. Should be a fun game tonight. Unfortunately, though, we do not expect Leon Draisaitl to play. Here's Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch.
Yeah, Leon tonight is doubtful to play tonight, and we'll treat this as day-to-day. And, we'll need guys obviously stepping up with Leon's absence, the way he's been playing, not necessarily lately, for the entire season.
And, I mean, would it be fair to say anything Leon's dealing with, you guys will be extra cautious, give him whatever time is needed, because obviously being healthy for the playoffs?
Absolutely. It's definitely being cautious. We're hitting the near the end of the regular season, hitting the playoffs. We want 100% from Leon when he's healthy, and this is something we do not want it to linger. Same thing we treated with Ekholm, something that he probably could have played through, the time off, benefited him lots. We feel that this is something that, probably could play through, and maybe it's not an issue. We certainly don't want it to be an issue for the long term, so this is definitely the right play, we believe. And, Leon has played through so much. He's a battler, so there's not too often that he comes out of the lineup, so we're just being cautious here.
All right, so, sounds like if this were a playoff game or a really critical regular season game, Leon Draisaitl would play, but we don't expect him in the lineup tonight. As we bring you the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. Here's how we expect the Oilers to line up, or a best guess, Jay. He did say the McDavid line would remain together from last game. McDavid, Jeff Skinner, and Hyman. Okay? Do we then assume Nugent-Hopkins has Podkolzin and Arvidsson with him? That would leave likely Henrique, Perry, and Brown, and then Kapanen, Janmark, and Max Jones coming in. Or do they put Derek Ryan in the game tonight?
I don't know. I mean, Daily Faceoff has it the way you listed. I know that's purely speculative at this point, but I like how they would elevate Nuge's line, right? Move them up. And with Draisaitl being out, are you surprised? Because Draisaitl was clearly injured last game, or something was nagging
bugging him.
And you could see him grimacing on the end of the bench. They showed that, but he went back out. Are you surprised, given the score and given the juncture of the game that was at, that They didn't just say, okay, just
maybe a little, because before Ekholm missed that time, remember, didn't he miss a third period or most of a third period? A little bit. Now, I know they were maybe thinking, let's get 50 over with, or maybe help Hyman get a hat trick on one of the power plays. But yeah, I was a little bit, now that we know that he's got to sit out here, that they didn't just say, or maybe they knew then, okay, we won't put him in against Winnipeg, but let's see if we can get 50 out of the way for him before the end of the game. I don't know. What did you think? I know you didn't hear all of yesterday's show, but I know you heard a little bit of my Nuge stuff about, because Nuge has become, okay, I'll rewind here, my thought.
Okay.
If I were to ask you what position does Ryan Nugent-Hopkins play, what would you say? You can't just say forward.
See, I've been on this, I said this before, but he's a center traditionally, but he's now turned into a winger.
Like I would have said left wing.
Yes.
Maybe he's a center for the rest of the season. Because Knobloch sure seemed to think, because, okay, we talked about Nuge last week when they were doing poorly. What was it? 1 goal in 14 games. A lot of nights don't really notice him, or it's like, well, he's not playing bad, but he's supposed to be your third best forward, and he's kind of not driving it or picking the team up if Leon and Connor aren't doing much, or Hyman. But now 2 games, 3 points in both games. Great shorthanded goal the other night. And then Knobloch comes out yesterday and gives, and this was my point yesterday. I know you heard this part. He gave a very detailed answer when he didn't have to about Nuge being a center. So now I'm thinking like, man, not only forget about having Leon and Connor on different lines. I don't know if his preference is that Nuge is one of their wingers anymore.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. If things keep going this way, 100%. And the involvement aspect of what Knobloch's statements were and how you correlated, and it just made so much sense to say, yeah, you're touching the puck twice as much as you are on the wall.
Right.
Right. I believe that's one of the things he says, and that gets you engaged in the game. Right. So if Nuge keeps playing this way, I mean, 6 points in his last 2 games plus 5. That's
the extreme, but
it is. But based on where he was and what he was contributing throughout the rest of the season, that's a huge victory. So, what's the only thing that's changed in those last 2 games?
His position.
Right. So you'd be hard pressed to fight against that.
Well, as we often say, whether it was Kyler Yamamoto or Jesse Puljujärvi or Victor Arvidsson or Jeff Skinner, you can't play with one of those guys and have 1 goal in 14 games and be on the power play, by the way. And I know maybe he's not the primary shooter on the power play. So I think this is Knobloch saying, okay, like I can't just say 2 years ago that Hyman, Nugent-Hopkins, and McDavid were the best line in the NHL. And that's been part of my argument. Just leave them together all the time.
Yeah.
Knobloch's saying, Knobloch's basically saying, like, if we had him in here for a coffee off the record, he'd probably say, but Reid, I can't. Jay, I can't. I'm not coaching last year's team, or I'm not coaching the Nuge that got 104 points or whatever he got. I'm coaching this guy, and I can't wait for him as a winger to all of a sudden be getting a point a game. So I got to see what else might work. So maybe all of a sudden now at this point he's back. Maybe he's back to being a center for 3 months if the season goes that long or whatever.
Well, I think the main point, or the main, I guess, focus out of what his comments were is that he needs to have Nuge more engaged in the pace of play and the structure of the play moving forward. And yeah, it's paying dividends now. Whether that continues to happen or not is the question. But yeah, I think elevating them to the second line is obviously the right move. It'd be interesting to see how the lines shake out because nobody really knows.
Well, and yeah, this would be one of those games where you see how it's going. Not a great night not to have Draisaitl against an incredibly deep, successful team. I mean, they got Scheifele down the middle, Nemesnikov, Lowry, long considered I guess if you had to draw a diagram of a perfect third-line center, he's often listed as that guy, and Morgan Barron, who's a pretty dogged player, as the fourth-line center. So we expect McDavid, Skinner, and Hyman, Nuge, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson, Henrique, Perry, Brown, Kapanen, Janmark, Jones, But again, we played some clips from Derek Ryan yesterday, and Knobloch has said he's going to play. So maybe it's like, yeah, man, like you came up. We're not going to let you sit out for 3 weeks. We want to get you into the game. We'll see. Eck with Bush, Nurse, Wallman, Kulak, and then we don't know for sure Emberson or Stetcher, but they seem to like Stetcher's game recently.
Well, what's not to like? It's been, he hasn't really been that noticeable, which I think as a defenseman in his position, obviously not one of the top 5, the guy that's going to be in and out of the lineup. If you're not noticed for bad reasons, that could probably keep you in the lineup.
Stuart Skinner, the Oilers goaltender, despite being shelled and pulled in that first game of the season, that Winnipeg won 6-0. His lifetime numbers against the Jets are pretty good. 4-1-1 with a 2.67 goals against average and a 908 save percentage. Connor Hellebuyck has played a ton against the Oilers because, well, he's getting deeper into his career. And don't forget, he was the Jets goaltender. I know he didn't play every game, but when they played each other 9 times that one season, it was the All-Canadian division. Hellebuyck against Edmonton in his regular season career, 14-13-3. Has a shutout, has a 907 save percentage. The goals against average is a little higher at 3.04. Scheifele between Connor and Velarde. It's a good line. Nemesnikov with Ehlers and Perfetti. Lowry, Niederreiter, and Appleton. Barron, Tanev, and Iafallo. Morrissey and DeMello. Samberg and Shen. Fleury and Miller on the back end. And as Jamie was talking, whenever they get Pionk better back, they're going to be even better on the back end. Here's Connor McDavid with some observations on the Jets.
Yeah, they're deep all over. They got good forwards. Back end's big and strong, and then you got to go up against the best goalie in the world. So it's not there's a reason they're where they are in the standings. It's not for luck. It's not for anything other than that they're a great team, and it'll take a good effort to beat them.
And again, without I know we're going to talk about this later. I think Draisaitl's a Hart Trophy winner. He's scored numerous massive goals for the Oilers this season. When he's on the ice, the puck is almost always in the other team's end. And you and I have discussed throughout the year several times how with McDavid and Draisaitl, it's the zone entries. Like they're just in. Like if they're across the red line, they're going to be over your blue line, pretty much, right? Like it's pretty special how they get the puck over the line. And here's the one thing about Draisaitl that I really think. You miss everything about Draisaitl, but the one thing that I think they're really going to miss is Draisaitl's ability to make plays with someone on his back. Because this Jets team, like they're not shrinking violets either. Like they'll be physical, they'll confine your ability to move out there, and Draisaitl is so good at that. Like, oh, you've boxed me in. Well, I have the power, or maybe I'm going to use my skill to still get the puck to a dangerous situation, right? So I think that's going to make it extra taxing on the Oilers tonight, is that you lose his puck handling and that heavy play that he's capable of.
Do you think this opens a door? And I mean, this would be incredible, but when McDavid was out earlier in the season, Draisaitl's play, he kind of said, I'm going to put the team on my back. Do you think McDavid has that same obligation or feel?
Yes.
Right?
I do.
I mean, but since March 1st, McDavid has 15 points. He's first in the NHL in scoring. He's +7. Not that long ago, he was leading this team in plus-minus. Or for that month, that stretch. So McDavid's playing, he's back to McDavid levels.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But do you think he takes it a little bit further?
He might. Yeah, I mean, he just might say, okay, like even more of it is on me tonight. And maybe Hyman's thinking that too. I think Hyman's starting to feel a little bit more and getting more chances in tight and cashing in a little bit more.
Maybe it's Jay Skins.
Maybe it's his night. Maybe it's Arvidsson's night to score again.
Well, he's doing pretty good.
But the further you go down these lines, the more it's like, oh yeah, I can see why the Jets are so good. And then when you don't have Draisaitl on top of that, but one game, and the Oilers are playing well, and the Oilers are defending better. 3 games in a row, they've only allowed 1 goal against. Now, it's rare we say this though. The Oilers have the second best power play in this game.
Yeah.
Because what are we at here for the stats? The
first and 7th.
Jets are 30.6. The Oilers are now down to 7th at 25.6. Actually, both teams are kind of underwhelming on the PK. Edmonton's 77%. That's 20th. The Jets are 78.7%. So that's So that's 15th. So we could see some fireworks on the power play tonight.
I know this is really oversimplifying something that is not simple, but the Jets are 41-2-1 when they score 3 or more goals. Okay? 3 or more
41-2-1?
41-2-1.
Jeez.
When they score 3 or more goals. In the last 3 games, as you just said, Stu Skinner and Calvin Pickard have stopped 74 of 77 shots for a .961 save percentage. If they can somehow continue that play, the Oilers have a chance because they can play up to teams like Winnipeg. Right? They did it they had Dallas in a conundrum. They let them back into the game, but they played quite well that game. So it's just interesting to see what Oilers team shows up tonight. If the team of the last 3 games shows up and the Nuge and Hopkins of the last 3 games shows up, I think the Oilers can win tonight. But there's also the chance that they lay a complete egg. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough sample size of them to say that this team is back and they're out of the slump and they're trending upwards towards the playoff.
And by the way, I'm just checking my pool. So in the EST pool on ESPN, we have 108 entries. I'm one of many people tied for 44th.
What am I?
What's your team name?
Glue Crew.
Oh, right. Yeah, you'll have to go in and find it.
I think I was on page 3. Yeah.
Well, right now there's so many people tied for each position because there hasn't been that many points available. Oh, there's Norman at Combine. Oh, yeah. Nice. All right. 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We will get into our afternoon debate for Edmonton Garrison when we get back.
Edmonton's Leon Draisaitl is doubtful with an undisclosed injury as the Oilers face the Jets. Plus, Evander Kane practiced during the team's optional skate this morning. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they tee up the action at 6, only on EST. 13 other games around the league. Montreal hits the ice in Long Island. The Blue Jackets and Panthers go at it before St. Louis hosts Vancouver. And March Madness is underway. 6 games wrapped up, having 2 upsets. 5th-ranked Clemson dropping a 69-67 decision to the 12th place McNeese. Right now, BYU is up 10 over VCU with under a minute to go in that one. Plus, Georgia trails 71-48 against Gonzaga with 10 minutes to go. 5 games around the NBA. The Raptors and Warriors go head-to-head while LA's Luka Doncic takes a maintenance day to rest his right ankle sprain as the Lakers tip off against the Bucks. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their showroom offers all the best and latest in flooring, tiles, and area rugs. Tell them EST sent you for 10% off your next purchase. You can shop in-store or online at ParamountFlooring.ca. Up next, the afternoon debate for the Edmonton Garrison Golf and Country Club. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
It's time for a wing throwdown at the Canadian Brewhouse. Fuego Verde versus Honey Blaze. Who's got the best flavor? Come taste the heat and get your wing fix anytime. Plus 69-cent wings all day Wednesdays. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Join our very own Dustin Nielsen, Trey and Terrell Ford of the Edmonton Elks, and other special guests on Tuesday, April 8th at the Bell in Scona for Edmonton Sports Talk's Bids for Kids, presented by GS Construction. A special live on-location show featuring a delicious appetizer buffet, silent auction, 50-50, and more. This year, Kids Sport is proudly celebrating 30 years of making a positive impact in our community. Don't miss out and join this special celebration to help continue to support those in need. Tickets are limited. Find them today at kidsportbidsforkids.com. That's kidsportbidsforkids.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Someday you'll be shedding your tears.
A one-of-a-kind retrospective. It's Glass Tiger, This Island Earth, April 4th at River Cree Resort and Casino.
Don't forget me when I'm gone.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Thinking of you's working up my appetite. Looking forward to a little afternoon
Debate.
rubbing sticks and stones together, make the sparks ignite. And the thought of loving you is getting so exciting. Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon
Debate.
Afternoon
Debate.
Thing of Beauty. The afternoon debate song. Is that you, Coob, doing the Satan voice? Wow, you have an incredibly deep voice. Did you put it through a mixer or anything like that?
Yeah, I had. I might have had to clear my throat before recording that one.
You should have come on and said, "No, I didn't, Reid."
No, I didn't.
Got a limerick here from the Big Uke to read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The end of winter soon, spring equinox. Weather will be nice to eat bagels and lox. Jets flying high, no Leon sigh. Describing Reid as an animal, I'd say sly as a fox.
Wow.
And the Big Uke says, have a great show. I'll try to wave to you at the game tonight. Well, good luck. I'm very hard to spot, as Jay found out.
No, you're not.
You didn't have, I'm very little.
No.
It depends. First of all, if he's on the penalty box side, forget about it. He's not seeing me.
You ain't. Nope.
No, you were directly across from me almost.
Almost directly. Literally.
Yeah. And you were in the top row of the lower deck, so you were easier for me to spot. Because sometimes I'll have a friend or a colleague or something at the game, and they'll say, yeah, I'm in I'm in the corner by the Oilers net. I don't know, 10 to 15 rows up next to a guy in an Oilers jersey. Okay. Thanks. Oh, there you okay, whatever.
Are you serious? Next to a guy with an Oilers jersey?
I don't know if anybody's ever said that, but I'll get to there's a guy, in a blue jacket next to me. Even that doesn't really narrow it down. So Uke's going to the game. Incredible.
What do you and Mike, the Michigan fan, have on the brackets? You got a side bet?
Yes. If I finish ahead of him, I get a round of golf at Highlands. If he finishes ahead of me, he gets a 1 hour free use of the arcade machine.
No way. This is great. Good for you.
It really is good for me.
Would you take me with you?
Probably.
Sweet.
So if you're in the old YouTube feed, keep giving us the thumbs up. We can get to 100 probably within a minute if everybody just rallies now, and then we'll keep building to 130, and then we'll get to 100 which would mean a double word of the day at the end of the show. But don't delay. Click, click, click away. Let's first get well over 100 here, and then we can keep building from there. It is time. Yes, you heard the theme song for the afternoon debate. Early bird golf memberships now on sale at the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club with discounts for seniors and first responders, plus special rates for Sturgeon County residents. Enjoy GPS carts and awesome driving range deals. Inside, kick back and enjoy a pint or a pint. So excited for the game tonight, I can't concentrate. Enjoy a pint and or a pound of wings in their full bar and restaurant. For more info, visit egmgolf.com. The afternoon debate. Do you have our debate topic?
You just got me thinking about chicken wings.
Did I have one that I forgot?
No, we talked about it earlier. Is it a debate? That's a good question, Reid. Is the Hart Trophy signed, sealed, and delivered? Is it over? I mean, barring something bad happening.
No.
It's not over.
I would say the Hart discussion is not over. Especially, I mean, we have Winnipeg Sports Talk listeners tuning in today.
Yeah, but they're comparing a goalie.
Who was the last goalie to win the Hart Trophy? Was it Price?
Marc-Andre Fleury.
The Marc-Andre Fleury did not win the Hart Trophy.
Sorry, Carey Price.
Okay. What? Where did you pull that out of?
I wrote down Marc-Andre Fleury.
What year did Price win?
Price. Do you know that the last 3 goaltenders to win the Hart have come from 2 teams?
Montreal and Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because Price won it.
Yep.
When did he win it? 2010?
14, 15.
More recent than that. Theodore won it in 2002 because that was the year Ginla probably should have won it. And then Hasek won it, 3 or 4 times in the 90s?
Back to back.
Oh, he only won 2? Okay.
97, 98.
But he won the Vezina numerous times. Okay, so the argument could be that a goalie should not win the Hart Trophy because goaltending is its own separate position and has its own trophy.
That's right.
Like Connor Hellebuyck and Leon Draisaitl are not doing the same thing in a game. And hockey recognizes that by saying, hey, goalies, you have your own trophy.
And to add, as good as Hellebuyck's playing, right? All those 4 goaltenders that we just mentioned, 3, Hasek, Theodore, and Price, they all had over a .930 save percentage. Now, I know scoring has changed, right? Scoring's gone up, and they were all sub 1.5 goals against. Hellebuyck ain't there.
They were all sub 1.5?
Yeah.
Goals against it?
Sorry. The three closest. There was one.
Oh, okay.
Hasek's first, he was 1.53. Everybody else was sub 1.5. Hellebuyck's at 1.99.
Okay.
Okay. Now, yes, I understand. But that's the thing. Like, I don't know how you can have. How do you compare Hellebuyck and Draisaitl? You could say that every goaltender is the most important or most valuable player on their team.
Sure.
You could. You probably should. So how do you have that in the same category as Leon Draisaitl and Nathan MacKinnon?
I view it as like for a goalie to win it, I guess it'd be the same attitude about a pitcher winning MVP in baseball. For a goalie to win it, there would have to be no skater who really was a definitive or borderline obvious choice in his own right. So, if Leon Draisaitl has 37 goals and there's no skater who's really risen, who's really noticeable, then it'd be like, okay, you know what? There's a bunch of skaters who have had very good seasons, but no guy or two is having a true Hart Trophy caliber season. And this goalie is head and shoulders above all the other goalies. I would say vote for the goalie for the Hart. But if there's a goalie that's having a head and shoulders season, but there are 2, 3, 4 skaters who are also having MVP caliber seasons, then I'd say, okay, the goalie then can't be in that conversation. That he gets the Vezina. But, the skaters are doing very special things, and that's who I would lean towards for the Hart. So that's why if I had a Hart vote, which I don't, I would give it to Draisaitl over Hellebuyck. Now, if Draisaitl doesn't play the rest of the season,
yeah.
And again, it obviously doesn't sound like the injury is that bad. But I do think games played does make a difference. If Draisaitl, hypothetically, or if a player, played 65 games and there was a goaltender who played 65 games, then I would lean towards the goaltender. But my vote would be Draisaitl over Hellebuyck.
But you look at Winnipeg, and Koob was just talking about it in the break, how he's leading pretty much every statistical category for goaltenders. But that team also has the most goals for in the NHL. they're offensively very talented as a team. So to me, that almost offsets all the accolades. And I'm not trying to say that Hellebuyck's not. It's hard to compare. That's truthfully, like, you're literally comparing apples to oranges.
So that's why they have the Vezina Trophy.
Exactly. And as far as the heart goes, I mean, it's not even, in my opinion, it's not even, I know McKinnon has more points. Leon Draisaitl has almost double the amount of goals,
right,
as Nathan McKinnon. So I don't know. And like you said, unless Leon does not play for the rest of the year, I think this is a foregone conclusion.
So do you think, so what would your standard be then for a goaltender to be a Hart candidate or winner?
A better combination of numbers than Hellebuyck. I guess you'd have to be in that 1.5 goals against average, right? I mean, if you look at when Carey Price did it last, I think I'll have to look it up, but I think it was 1.4 or something.
Like, I know when Theodore won it, a lot of people didn't like that. They thought Iginla should have got it.
Yep.
Because, he had 50 goals, lower scoring era, all that kind of stuff. I mean, if Hellebuyck won it, I wouldn't be upset. And look, maybe I am biased because I've seen Draisaitl play I guess I missed part of the Dallas game, but I've seen him play every game this season. It's a tough comparison because they're literally doing different things. One guy is out all over the ice. The other guy's now goaltending is an incredibly important position. Coyote Steve says an MVP is truly a player that on any team makes the team a contender. The definition of the Hart Trophy is the player who is most valuable to his team. And some leagues, like the CFL, the award is actually most outstanding player. Now, it could also be each individual voter could still have his own definition. But to me, if you're saying the award goes to most outstanding player, you just look at the best stats. Who has the most eye-popping stats? That's the most outstanding player. Most valuable player, and that's what hockey does, is a little different. Is the Hart Trophy, okay, if you take this guy off his team, which team suffers the most?
That's what yes.
So who suffers more, Winnipeg without Hellebuyck or the Oilers without Draisaitl? From that standpoint, you'd probably say Winnipeg without Hellebuyck because there'd be a pretty big drop from
that's a good point.
Top 3 goaltender to the 35th best or 40th best goalie in the league. I don't know. Having said that, the Oilers without Draisaitl, I mean, there have been some games recently where he's been on every goal that was scored. like the Islanders game. He scored both of them.
Yeah, I don't know. You just put my mind in a pretzel saying that.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Good.
This is pretzel you up.
This is the afternoon debate, by the way, for EGM Golf, Edmonton Garrison. Now I'm.
Yeah, Matt Hyman says don't remove them though. Take them away and add an average player in their spot. Doesn't baseball have that stat? Wins above replacement. If you took a guy out and put in an average player or a good minor leaguer or something. Hellebuyck's having an incredible season.
But it does say, very directly, that it's most valuable to his team, not most valuable in the NHL. This is the player that's most valuable to their team.
See, that's a weird thing because then you could say, the leading scorer on San Jose is most valuable to his team because they'd never win a game without whoever, right?
Yeah, but when your team's better, that ups the ante on how valuable you really are. If you're playing on one of the top teams in the NHL, or for instance, the Winnipeg Jets, then that amplifies how good Hellebuyck really is because they have the best record in hockey.
Right.
I'm just saying that it's, skaters v. goalies in the same,
And I believe there are some voters who wouldn't vote for a goalie or who at least wouldn't vote for a goalie first. It would take a lot for. I mean, there are dozens of media people around the NHL, members of the PHWA, who vote for the Hart Trophy, I bet you could find a good chunk of them who'd say, like, unless a goalie is 58-7 with a .945 save percentage, I'm not voting for the goalie. They have the Vezina.
Yeah.
All right, let's do clue number 3. And by the way, Sean Bell, he's going to be on at 5 now. Okay, Sean Bell's going to be at 5. So we'll flip flop a couple segments here. What clue are we on? Third clue?
Third clue, baby.
Clue. Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. You must text your guesses to 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. The third clue is 100. Okay, so the clues so far: science, Oklahoma, and 100. Somebody's going to get it now.
Would you like me to spell?
No,
O-N-E or the number 100?
The number 100. All right, quick timeout.
Oilers star Leon Draisaitl is doubtful tonight against the Jets due to an undisclosed injury, and Evander Kane suited up for today's optional skate this morning. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas have the details as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 right here on EST. 14 total games around the league. Vegas hosting Boston, Vancouver on the road in St. Louis, and the Flames battling the Devils. 5 games in the association. Raptors hit the court to challenge the Warriors, and the Bucks have a date with LeBron James. And the Lakers, LA's Luka Doncic sits out to manage a right ankle sprain. 6 games down, 2 games are live as March Madness is in full swing. BYU just got past VCU 80-71. Right now, Georgia trails by 25 points with less than 3 minutes to go in the game. On the pitch, Canada challenges Mexico in CONCACAF semifinal action. Meanwhile, Canada's Leylah Fernandez has advanced to the 3rd round of the Miami Open, winning 7-6 over America's Alicia Parks. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca. More with Reid and Jay on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program, a perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. Learn more about safety supervision, scheduling, cost control, and most importantly, how to lead a team. For more information and to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP to take your career to another level.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
We are here in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Awesome location. Canadian Brewhouse Express lunch served in under 15 minutes, or it's free. Dig into the Turkey Club sandwich or the Alberta, how do you say it again? Wagyu?
Goob.
The Alberta Wagyu roll.
Wagyu?
Or sorry, the ravioli. It's not a roll. It's a ravioli.
Wagyu ravioli?
Yes. That sounds good.
Dang.
Monday to Friday until 2 p.m. Canadian Brewhouse Studio. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Oilers and Jets at 7. The Oilstream GCL Diesel pregame show, 6 o'clock here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Jay and I are with you until then. We got the Coob as well. Sean Bell's going to join us at 5 o'clock from Hello Hockey. Former NHLer, of course, a great part of our EST team. We'll get to our game of the night in a few minutes, but we've had the afternoon debate here going. So that the debate started as Draisaitl, Hellebuyck, or whoever for the Hart Trophy, and then it's sort of part of that was how good does a goaltender have to be to win the Hart Trophy, and now we're trying to define most valuable player for Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. Coyote Steve says sports writers have a prejudice and team alliance. The Hart MVP should be a player and coach voted award. Well, they do have the Ted Lindsay that's voted on by the players. The GMs vote for Coach of the Year. I guess I would say that, Coyote Steve, sure, a person that covers a team and sees them more often could have a bias. Or somebody could say, well, I think these guys are equal, but I cover this team, so I'm going to vote for the guy I cover. But my counter to that would be that should offset votes from the other players' city, and then there are also national media voting on these awards as well. Like Coyote Steve, my bigger concern would be Eastern voters who might not see West Coast players as much because the games can go till after midnight. But yeah, I get that concern. Personally, I don't see it as a huge concern, but I could be wrong.
The River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. There have been some nasties chiming in, voicing their opinions. Chris Purper says, still need a goalie you can depend on. Ask Oilers fans about that and how they feel. Good goalie leads to scoring.
Yeah.
Fair enough. This is a good point, too, is from Deaky Sparks. The problem with Leon is he's got Connor riding with him. So they've got other studs, too. I think if they don't give it to Hellebuyck, then a goalie will never win it again.
Oh, I don't know about that. See, but here's the thing. I push back on the notion that, well, there's other awesome players on his team.
I think that should elevate.
I mean, that should actually... That's how you... Like, how many assists... Even as great as Gretzky was, not every player could finish his passes as well as Jari Kurri could have. So, I mean, you do benefit from playing with other good players, and it still takes talent to play with another good player and be productive. You know, like it's what we've been talking about with the Oilers this season. Not every winger for McDavid and Draisaitl plays awesome. So, I would not vote that way. Like, I wouldn't say, oh, well, this guy has really good line mates, so he shouldn't win an individual award. I would say, well, he's feasting with those line mates, so he must be pretty good.
Yeah, but if you're playing with Connor McDavid and you're still putting up those numbers, that says a lot.
Yeah.
That actually, I think, would be more of a feather in the cap to the Draisaitl
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Relando says, would not the Vezina winner always be the most valuable to their team?
No. Oh, the Vezina winner?
The Vezina winner.
Well, it would depend on the team. I would say no, that wouldn't be an automatic. I'd say he'd be very important. But good goaltending is important to any team.
Sure.
Too. But that's why it has its own award, because it's a very unique position. So, but this is the thing. We're not just talking about necessarily about a goaltender winning it. We're talking about how you are the most valuable player in the National Hockey League.
To your team.
Yes. Or even value. Like, Matthias Ekholm is pretty valuable to the Oilers. he's probably not going to lead in any stat. Right?
Yeah, it's true. The more you look into it, the more you can, I think you can construct an argument for either side of this based on who the players you're talking about, right?
Right.
Big Dave says Leon's individual efforts have won his team games in which my mind makes him more valuable to his team. The Jets win because of all-around team effort, and I think that gives Leon the heart. If Hellebuyck was on a team that had an underachieving offense, then he would be a better consideration for the heart.
Yeah, wow. That's a good one, too. Yeah, I mean, I'll give Hellebuyck stats here. He's 39-10-3 with a 2.05 goals against average and a 924 save percentage. Like that's
really
otherworldly.
Yeah.
As I often say too, like just win the game if you're the goalie. Just so he's got now. Okay, so why do they win? Because they score a lot or because they have Hellebuyck? Well, they have both. That's why they're far and away the best team in the Western Conference. But the Oilers without Draisaitl would be seriously lacking. Even think of all the games they would have lost in overtime, probably without him. Hula Boy Steve says, when was the last time a D-man won the Hart? Was it not Pronger in 2000? Where's my list here? Yeah, Pronger in 99-2000 was the last defenseman to win the Hart Trophy. Now, I guess I could also use my own argument saying, well, defensemen have their own award as well. But so it's more likely to have a goaltender. Who was the last defenseman before Pronger? There's the question. The last defenseman before Pronger was Bobby Orr in 1972. So, I just think, look, scoring is extremely hard in the National Hockey League. That's usually why a high-scoring forward wins the MVP. As much, of course, you have to have good defense and you have to have good goaltending, but the hardest thing to do in hockey is to consistently produce points. So therefore, high-scoring forwards usually win the MVP. So that's why I would say to be a goaltender to win it, you have to have an exceptional season for a goaltender, also in a season in which no one really grabs it by the you-know-what as a point producer. So in 14-15, when Price won it, who was the leading scorer? Jamie Benn had 87 points in 82 games.
There you go.
35 of them goals. Carey Price went 44-16-6 with a 9.33 save percentage and a 1.96 goals against average. So the fact that Draisaitl is having an excellent offensive season and scoring a lot of big goals is going to hurt Connor Hellebuyck. If Draisaitl, if the leading scorer in the NHL was on pace, I know we're in a high-scoring era, but if the leading scorer in the NHL was going to finish with, around 100 points and maybe nobody was going to get 50 goals, then to me it's Hellebuyck. But we have a couple guys who are having outstanding offensive seasons, so therefore they're probably going to get the Hart votes. That's how I break it down. There's a lot of ways to look at it, but that's how I break it down.
I think that's the most reasonable way. I mean, we could look back. It would be interesting to see what Carey Price was up against. But you said there with the year that Jose Theodore won that Jerome McGinley probably, you figure, should have won it.
Did he have, how many goals did he wind up with? Was it 50 or 55? Let me go into that year. 102 NHL. We had McGinley had 52 goals and 96 points. Marcus Naslund and Todd Bertuzzi, by the way, were next in scoring. Yeah, and here's the thing. We talk about the gap that Leon has. Like, Marcus Naslund had 40 goals. McGinley had 50. Like, he was far and away the best goal scorer in the National Hockey League. Jose Theodore, he played a ton of games. He played 67 games. He had 30 wins. He had a 931 save percentage. But Patrick Waugh that year, here's the thing. Waugh that year played 63 games, went 32, 23, and 17. Had a 1.94 goals against average and a 925 save percentage. Like his stat, but Theodore got the Canadians into the playoffs. Like they were kind of a mediocre team that got the 8th seed largely because of him. But the Avalanche won their division and had a goalie which in some way had comparable, if not better, stats than Jose Theodore. And then you had Iginla getting 52 goals when only one other person had 40. So how do you break it down, right? That's the beauty of it.
Do you think Leon can get to 60 goals?
Yes. Do you? I mean, unless he misses multiple games here, but it doesn't sound like he's going to.
It depends.
But this is why there's a bunch of individual voters, and then you hope enough people. But my standard for a goalie would be you have to have an outstanding season for a goaltender in a season in which offensive players don't have that outstanding seasons for offensive players.
I think that's fair.
Well, for once, I'm reasonable. We don't have a vote, though, everybody. So don't get mad at us, whoever wins. We got to get to our game of the night for Play More Tables and Games. From ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for, visit Canada's Game Room experts. Locations in Edmonton and Calgary are online at playmoregames.ca.
Play more tables and games.
There it is. My game of the night, guess what mine is? Oilers, Jets.
Yes.
Do I pick a set? Well, I'll let you go, and then I'll pick a secondary one. Well, there's a few options here, aren't there?
Well, I mean, if we're looking NHL, there's really one option that I think is rather intriguing. Canucks at Blues.
That's a good one,
right?
Because they're tied.
It's a huge game. That's what you call a 4-point game, Riedrich.
That certainly is. I'll throw Calgary and New Jersey into the mix as well. So if Calgary wins,
hey, we could get that on the ESTV, probably.
Well, yeah, we should be able to get that in a few minutes. Is that a 5:00-er?
A 5:00-er.
Yeah. So Calgary, New Jersey. We got 14 games in the NHL tonight. Utah's playing big game for Utah because somebody's winning Vancouver, St. Louis. And so then if Utah loses, there's 6 points out of a playoff spot. That is close to lights out at this time of the year. The Canadians are playing the Islanders. That's only a 3-point gap between those two teams for 8th with the Rangers in between, so that's a big game as well. But yeah, I think Vancouver, St. Louis would be the one to highlight after the Oilers-Jets game.
Also, there's a couple intriguing games for me in the NCAA tournament tonight. Omaha taking on St. John's. St. John's is a bit of my dark horse here.
Oh, yeah, I have them going to the Final Four in one of mine. Yeah.
And then UC San Diego taking on Michigan. Another 12-5 game, but that's a late start. It's an 8 o'clock start, so get to tune into that.
Give us the thumbs up if you're on your... Yeah, it's fun. This is a fun day. The Tennessee and... I don't even know how to say this. Wofford?
Wofford.
Well, Wofford. What's their team name?
Looks like the Bulldogs.
It is some sort of a canine logo.
It's an angry dog.
Some school should just call their team the Angry Dogs.
It is an angry-looking dog. It looks like rather has a collar on with the spikes.
Oh yeah, he's all spiked up. Give us the thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Let's push over 130 here in the next few minutes. Let's everybody rally and get it done. Get us into Word of the Day territory. Sean Bell coming up after the 5 o'clock break.
The EST Hangout.
I have a friend who coaches. A kid slipped, cut the back of his leg. I went out and bought Kevlar socks. I don't know why anyone wouldn't wear them, but McDavid's wearing the same socks for 20 years or whatever. Like they're like a hobo.
Comfort, it's what they feel.
It's superstition and it's dumb.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
UFC 314 goes down at the Canadian Brewhouse on April 12th. Watch every knockout on the most TVs with epic food and drinks in the best atmosphere. Don't miss the action. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Oilers star Leon Draisaitl is doubtful tonight against the Jets due to an undisclosed injury, and Evander Kane suited up for today's optional skate this morning. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas have the details as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6, only on EST. 5 games just getting underway. Calgary meeting New Jersey. Washington hosting Philly, and the Rangers taking on the Maple Leafs. And March Madness is in full swing. 8 games wrapped up. 1 game is live. Second-ranked Tennessee leading 8-6 on the 15th place Wofford early in the game. 5 games around the association. Raptors hit the court to challenge the Warriors, while the Knicks tip off against the Hornets, and the Nets hit the court with the Pacers momentarily. On the pitch, Canada challenges Mexico in CONCACAF semi-final action. Meanwhile, Canada's Leylah Fernandez has advanced to the 3rd round of the Miami Open, winning 7-6 over America's Alicia Parks. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The 3rd and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. 2 hours away from puck drop at Rogers Place. Oilers against the Winnipeg Jets. Oilers have won 3 straight. They're 40-24-4. The Jets lead the West 47-18. And for Leon Draisaitl, doubtful for the Oilers tonight. Chris Knobloch saying earlier, if it were a playoff game or something, he could probably play, but they want to be careful here with whatever ails him. We're going to connect with Sean Bell from Hello Hockey in a minute or so here. Let's check in with the 4th clue for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. You must text your guesses, maximum 3 guesses per person, to the inbox presented by River Crew Resort and Casino, 780-218-9999. Now, somebody's for sure going to get it now. The 4th clue is politician. So the 4 clues to this point: science, Oklahoma, 100, and politician. That's the giveaway right there.
That's what you say. I still think
somebody
it's
will
tough.
get it now. Somebody will get it now. If this isn't the giveaway, then the next one for sure will be. But this one should be a giveaway. You don't think so?
I don't, but prove me wrong.
No, people figure stuff out. They're pretty smart.
Bryce the Sparky in the River Cree inbox. Hey guys, I might have missed it, but with Kane skating a month before playoffs, do you think he will play game 1? And was this expected or ahead of schedule? Well, I can tell you it's not ahead of schedule.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know when he's going to play. I just simply don't. And I completely reject the notion that he jumps back in and plays as well as he did 3 years ago against Calgary in that playoff run. Like he hasn't played for a long time, and he was hurt a good chunk of last season too. So we'll see how he comes along. We'll just see how he comes along. 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Do we have Sean? He said he's waiting to join. Okay. You're working on it, Coop? All right, Coop's working on it. The Oilers and Jets played once earlier this season. It was a nightmare for Edmonton. It was a joyous evening for Winnipeg that started them off on that incredible start to the season. 6-0 Jets back in the first game of the year. Stuart Skinner expected to go for the Oilers. Hellebuyck for the Jets. Jets coming off a rare, tough game against the Vancouver Canucks. Anybody win?
Still no.
Are people guessing?
Oh, yeah.
And nobody's got it?
I'm telling you. I mean, it's different from you knowing it.
Well, I know, but
this one is special.
But I know people figure stuff out, because there were ones when we were doing this early, I thought, oh, no one will get this one. And then second guess they get it. I feel as if now I have a better sense for at what point people will figure it out.
You would. But what? Okay, so the first clue was?
Science.
Second clue was Oklahoma. Third clue was
100. The number 100.
Fourth clue, politician. I don't know. I said it off the top. I think this is tough.
Well, the fifth clue then certainly will give it away once we get there, but we won't give it out yet. We got Sean? Almost got Sean. Sean Bell, by the way, is our voice of the game. Voice of the game presented by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated since 1993. We're more than just plywood. We offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. With a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff, we're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. Belzy, how's your day going, my friend?
Oh, it's going good, boys. I did an alumni skate, actually, for the first time all year.
Who else was on the ice?
It was, Gazzola was out there hacking up the puck as per usual. You had Dingman, Johnny Boychuk, Scott Glennie, former first-rounder, Dallas Stars. He was out there. It was a pretty good skate. I'm used to skating with guys, 15 sing guys, but for whatever odd reason, this was like 25, 30, and it was heavy numbers.
I will hand it to Tom, though, for going out there with a bunch of guys who played in the NHL.
Oh, yeah, and he trash talks, too, which is hilarious.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He was like big dogging it. He was skating over the other bench. He'd be like, oh, look at me, boys. One shift, game-winning goal. Like, come on, Tommy.
Okay, Belzy, I was not here last weekend. I was away skiing. Yep. I heard some things that have happened, and I asked Reid today, because we've had this, we've talked about this on the show, like, oh, you think you can, Belzy's older now. I know he played in the NHL, but, I could probably skate with Belzy. And I asked Reid, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, you've heard it, like the Weekend Warrior. How, blah, blah, blah. I asked Reid point blank, because he was there. I said, how bad was it? And he pretty much said, you could do whatever you wanted with the puck, right? Do you like, so when you're out on that alumni skate today, is it, guys are competitors, guys are, you want to get a sweat on, but you still want to go out and beat somebody. Does the tempo get quite high there to the point where, guys, the inner professional hockey is coming out of them?
No, I think that part is done. I think all the guys are there for the pizza and beer, to be honest with you. I think it does get to a point where, there's a little bit of competition, but it's not the competition from like pro guy to pro guy. It's like the competition from a guy that plays junior hockey because he's going all out, because it's not that he's trying to prove something, but some of those junior hockey players don't have an off switch. And so it's like, okay, so for example, Chris Dingman has a breakaway today, and Xander Schulte back checks and dives for the puck while he's on a breakaway. For most of us, that's like, Dinger, have that breakaway. You're probably going to miss anyway. So we'll just figure it out from there. So there's certain things that, guys will do really well, like pass the puck. They've got, good instincts for the game, but for their lungs, Obviously, most of the guys are a little bit heavier than they were when they played. So, like, the speed and pace of the game, it dies quickly, but the sharpness is still there, if that makes sense.
Yes, I think that makes sense. But I still hand it to Tom for going out there and trash talking. Like, good for him.
Oh, you have to.
Good for him. But you made a couple. I didn't see everything on Saturday, but you made a couple plays, and you probably don't want to say this, like in the heavy hockey game, where I thought to myself, yeah, you can tell that guy played in the NHL and played pro for a long time, because I could tell there were a couple plays in the offensive zone where you were like, yeah, I want to pass the puck to this guy, and the puck's getting to him. So I think you did a good job not just going out there and winning the game by yourself and including your teammates. It was a very respectful performance.
I appreciate that. I think that's one of the hardest things, though, like, because you never know. Like, there's times where, like, if I played beer league and guys will go harder against you because you're wearing, a logo. But I thought it was a pretty good game, and it was pretty fun. And, I don't want to show people up, because I don't think it's supposed to be about that. So I try to include my teammates as much as possible. But every now and then you're like, oh, maybe I might just turn it on just a little bit, just to let people know, like, Dash.
Or Tommy.
Or Tommy.
Or Tommy. And
Yeah,
Tommy is
Tommy.
in the nasty chat. He did say, guy comes out for the first time this year, and he's giving it to me.
You have to.
Bruce from William Huff is in the River Cree inbox, actually.
Oh, wow.
He said, Bruce here from William Huff. I got to skate with them today, and Belzy is a great player and a great guy.
Thank
Look
you,
at that.
Bruce. Unbelievable.
Belzy, I wanted
All right, we had to shut this off because we got colleagues texting us. I don't want to get in the middle of this on air.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'll mediate everything off air.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about, because I know you've been a bit, I don't know, outspoken is the right word, but just with the level of intensity of the Oilers team, the toughness, and what did you think? We were talking about it earlier, but I want to get your take on it, of Darnell Nurse's play there against Utah and taking that fight, and just he seemed to have an edge to him that I as a fan watching, I don't see how you wouldn't be welcome to that. But what do you think of Darnell Nurse's play the other night?
Well, I think Darnell Nurse is obviously at his best when he's playing physical and he's playing within himself. And, the times that Darnell gets in trouble is usually when he's trying to do a little bit too much on the offensive side. But I mean, honestly, I really, really liked Darnell Nurse's game most of the year. I think he's had a little bit of snarl, and this is one of the things that can really benefit the Oilers, is having a guy like Darnell Nurse take that fight and obviously do what he does, because I'm not sure how many fights he's lost in the NHL. And maybe the Lucic fight that he had, what was that, 5-6 years ago, maybe you could say he lost that one. But outside of that, like, he earned a reputation for being obviously a tough player, a hard player to play against. And, he got room because of that. And so I really appreciated what he did for the Oilers last game against Utah.
So the Jets come in here tonight with, they in Washington are tied for the most points in the league. It's a fun game for us to talk about. Oilers are playing better, a little more hype around it. Do NHL players look at games like this? And I know we like to believe, they try exactly the same. They try hard every single game, no matter what. Okay, I hope people realize that's a fairy tale. But can the Oilers say, okay, like, we got to have it tonight? Like this, we don't want to get embarrassed, and let's prove to ourselves, forget about all the outside, let's prove to ourselves, even without Leon, that we're right in there. Let's send a little message to them. Do players think like that, or what do they think going into a game like this?
Whenever you see the top team in the league on the schedule, you know that you got to show up, because here's the reality, is if the Oilers decide to play like they did, previous to, let's call it, the last 3 games, they're going to get shellacked tonight. And they may or may not get booed off the ice. That's how good the Jets are. And so if you're not ready to go, then that can happen. But the Oilers, what we've seen when they play at their best, and they're moving pucks and they're in on the forecheck, and Connor's doing his thing and Leon's doing his thing, although he might be out tonight, they're a really tough team to handle. And I think it's one of those games where the guys are going to be up for it because they want to say, hey, we're right there too. And there is obviously games that are, they're not there's must-win games, but there's also prove-it games. And to me, this is one of those games where it's like, hey, let's see where we rank up against the best in the league.
I like how you put that. It's a prove-it game.
Well, and we were talking earlier about this, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. It has, I mean, we're talking about the Hart Trophy, the race for it, and where do you come out on because we somewhat debated it, right, Reid? We said, well, I think, Leon, as long as he keeps this pace up, is a shoo-in to win it this year. But in terms of an MVP with the season that Connor Hellebuyck's having, Reid said it, and I just want to see if you would agree with what Reid said, because I thought it made a lot of sense. The goalies that have won the Hart Trophy in past years have been on years where, there wasn't a Leon Draisaitl or Nathan McKinnon tearing it up. But do you think that the goaltender is or should be considered the MVP of a team, or do you think that's more deserving of a scorer like Leon who's taking over for this Oilers team, or who has been taking over?
Well, I think one of the only ways that, and I was listening to that debate because I obviously wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about before I got on, but I think the only way a goaltender wins it is if the team that he is part of doesn't have a high-end scorer, is, let's just call it a mediocre team, and he by himself wills that team to the playoffs. Then I would sit there and say, okay, that guy's the MVP. The problem is that, and I guess the thing with Hellebuyck is that the Jets are so good, they're so deep, that it kind of overshadows a little bit of what Hellebuyck's doing. Doesn't completely take it away. It just means that, hey, like, this team is from top to bottom is like, there's not many holes. So when you have a team like that in front of them and you've got one of the best goaltenders in the league, well, obviously you're going to suppress chances at a high rate. Some of the grade A chances that we see here in Edmonton don't happen there in Winnipeg. So now you've got chances where they're from the outside, and most goaltenders should probably have that save that's from the outside. And then I also look at it like this. And if I can just steal a little bit of football, there's been so many defensive players out there that have been absolute juggernauts that you're like, man, that guy should win it because he's so good. But he only affects the game in one aspect. And then you look at the quarterback and you're like, okay, well, the quarterback, he either throws his ball, he hands it off, runs. He's consistently the MVP because he can affect the game multiple ways. And I think this is kind of what you see in the NHL too, is that's why you get these forwards, because they can affect the game in multiple ways instead of just like, well, I'm just, I'm stopping the puck. And it sounds crazy. It sounds awful, but I think that's what people see. And that's why they consistently go towards the forward, the high scoring forward.
Well, and like we talked about Pronger, and then before that, Bobby Orr being the only D-men to win it. And then, the goaltenders, Hasek in a lower scoring era, Theodore in a lower scoring era, though the strong case for Ginla. And then, Price, where the scoring was starting to get a little better, but he sort of dragged Montreal to what they were able to do that season.
Yeah, like, if you remember Theodore's that year, like, he was otherworldly. Like, that was one of the best seasons from a goaltender, like, that I can remember. And, like, that kind of, like, put him on the map. Like, that's how good of a season he had, despite how good Ginla was.
Yeah.
And Ginla was good that season. But Theodore, like, I think a lot of people that are in our similar age groups can remember how good Theodore was.
Belzy, great appearance as always. Thanks for getting through the traffic to join us on video. Love having you on the show. Love being able to call you a colleague. Enjoy the game tonight, and we'll see you around the shop here soon, buddy.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Sean Bell, dominant alumni skater and heavy hockey showdown participant, and a great analyst for us here on Edmonton Sports Talk and Hello Hockey with Tom. I'm not reading all the messages in the private chat. I'm staying out of this.
We have to.
I love everybody.
Yeah, this is getting personal. Oof.
Pat, thanks for putting this in because I got to be honest here. If the Golden Bears are not in the University Cup, I don't pay as much attention. Mount Royal TMU, that's Toronto Metro, right? That used to be Ryerson, playing their 4th overtime at the University Cup right now. Longest game in university history. What a way to kick off the tournament. Exciting for everybody except whatever 2 teams had to play the second game tonight. I didn't even look at the schedule. Pat, thanks for that update as well. We got a winner? See, baby? I told you. By the way, keep giving us the thumbs up if you're on the YouTube feed. We're so close to 1:30, so let's take care of 1:30 here in the next few minutes. Get in there and click. Don't delay. We will unveil the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game and winner.
Well, I think you'll have to give the 5th clue for those that just to see it. Seahawks? Okay,
all right,
we're doing it.
Now we have a winner, so you can put it in the nasty chat.
Yeah, we already have a winner.
We'll unveil the athlete and the winner when we get back. Here comes the Coop.
Evander Kane hit the ice this morning for Oilers' optional skate. Meanwhile, Leon Draisaitl is doubtful to play against the league-leading Jets. Right now, there's 5 games scoreless early in the first. Panthers and Blue Jackets have a date. Devils and Flames are on the ice while Toronto plays New York at MSG. NBA action sees Toronto taking on Golden State. There's 2 active games right now. Knicks trailing 13-10 to the Hornets, and the Nets up 7-4 early on the Pacers. In college ball, the madness continues. Arkansas holds Kansas 9-5, and Tennessee has a 22-8 lead over Wofford. And from LA, Canada and Mexico go head-to-head in CONCACAF semifinal action. Meanwhile, on the tennis court, Canada's Leylah Fernandez beat Alicia Parks of the States 7-6 to advance to the 3rd round of the Miami Open. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. More with Reid and Jay on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
The idea is to build up everything so when you hit the playoffs, you're ready to go. Sometimes I've done too much and you do too much planning, and then there's other times where you don't do enough. So you got to find what works for your team. Knobloch knows what they did last year, and I think they'll know what they'll do this year, and they'll probably have the same approach, and they'll be ready come playoff time.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Missing the course? The Canadian Ice House is here to keep your skills sharp. Trackman golf simulators are open. Real golf action right in downtown Edmonton. Don't let the off-season slow you down. Visit us in-store or check out thecanadianicehouse.com for all the details.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Someday you'll be shedding your tears.
A one-of-a-kind retrospective. It's Glass Tiger, This Island Earth, April 4th at River Cree Resort and Casino.
Don't forget me when I'm gone.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Okay, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Oilers Jets. We don't expect Leon Draisaitl to play. 7 o'clock game at Rogers Place. Second of 3 meetings this season between the two teams. They still have a game coming up in Winnipeg. Whenever you text us at 780-218-9999, you're using the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. The mystery athlete of the game, the clues, science. He has his Bachelor of Science from Tulsa University. Second clue, Oklahoma. He ran for the governor of Oklahoma in 2002. 100. He finished his NFL career with 100 career touchdown receptions. Politician. He has been in the House of Representatives, and he played for the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks was the final clue. It is Steve Largent.
Nacho Man got it.
Whose man is he then?
I don't know. He's not your man. He's not my man. So Coop will reach out to you. Congrats, Nacho Man.
$25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pup. Good stuff.
There were a lot of Chuba Hubbard, a lot of JC Watt.
A lot of Chuba Hubbard.
Oklahoma, I think. He played at Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. JC Watt, yeah, he became a politician. Good one. Oh, that was
you know what? The one I was going to tell you earlier, but you said not to?
What?
Big Country.
Bryant Reeves?
Yeah.
Wow. How did they arrive at that one? That was an early guess after the first clue, or after the second clue. Does he have a Bachelor of Science? I guess there's a lot of ways you could have gone with science.
He grew up in Oklahoma. He went to Oklahoma State.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Well, if people sometimes just guess on one clue and hope that it fits in with the other ones. But
maybe his size is a scientific anomaly.
Maybe how poorly he shot the ball was defied science. All right. Yeah, keep giving us the thumbs up. I don't know what's going on. Like, people came out of the gate hot, and then it's like, I don't need to give a thumb. Yes, give a thumb. We want the instant gratification. Jay wants you to know that you're happy for him being back. He's wearing a Glue Crew sweatshirt with a North Carolina t-shirt underneath. It does help the algorithm on YouTube to suggest the show to other people who might enjoy it based on their viewing habits. And we got to get the word of the day. We want a double word of the day, but we're not even at single word of the day territory, and there's less than half an hour left in the show.
I think
click.
Yeah.
Must you click? Please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb.
All right. So whether you like that song or find it annoying, they're both reasons for you to click.
I don't think it's ever going to be annoying. I mean, if you played it every segment, yes, but you bring it out at good times. You do a good job. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's move into buying or selling for Damon Bunting. Did we name the winner? Oh, Nacho Man. Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Okay, I'm just going to grab my sheet here with the National Hockey League standings, all right? So most teams have, around 14 games left, give or take. So we can say the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be in the playoffs, okay? I think we're at the point where we're relatively safe saying the Ottawa Senators will be in the playoffs. They are 5 points ahead of the cut line. Right now, Montreal is in a playoff spot by a point, but with 2 games in hand on the next closest team. So, not for sure, but the Canadiens have, I'd say they're better than 50-50 to make the playoffs. The Winnipeg Jets will be in. The Edmonton Oilers will be in. One of Vancouver or Calgary will be in. So I think if depending on Montreal, we could have 6 out of 7. Maybe we'll only have 5 out of 7.
Yeah, I'm not. The West, I don't know.
I think one of Vancouver or Calgary gets that spot. Buying or selling, Jay, and our nasties. You can chime in as well. The inbox, the nasty chat, email read at edmontonsportstalk.com. Buying or selling, the Winnipeg Jets will have the most playoff pressure of any Canadian team. Oh, wow, there's thinking music.
I'm going to sell.
How come?
I'm going to sell because there's only one team that matter, and that is the Toronto Maple Leafs, Reid. They are exactly tied with the Florida Panthers right now. 14 games remaining for both of them. If they were to get into the first place spot in the Atlantic, there would be the same amount of, if not more, than the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg Jets fan base, now tell me if I'm wrong. If they went to the Western Conference Final and lost, they would probably take that right now, given their last 2 playoff appearances. Not even out of the first round. It's a what have you... The reason I am selling is it's a what have you done for me lately kind of thing. And as you know, Reid, and as your good friend Jay Milne alludes to, as often as he can, that Toronto's the center of the universe.
It really is.
So when we're talking about this, are we talking per capita or just in general?
Oh, I was not thinking per capita. I was not going that specific.
Because there's just no way that there would be any team with less pressure or more pressure, than the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Mike, the Michigan fan, is buying on my suggestion. LaBamba guy says sell. Coyote Steve says sell. The Oilers have more pressure than Winnipeg. Rip City Step, sell. Charlie, Jets will have lots of pressure, but Toronto more. LaBamba guy ranking the pressure index, Oilers, Leafs, and then Jets. This is a fun one to me.
This is fun.
Here's the thing. The Canadians, despite them being the Montreal Canadiens, and we talked a few months ago when they played in November or whatever, the mystique, like to me, it's not the same around Montreal. Like I remember when I was a kid, they were always near the top of the league, even if they weren't first. Then it was always like, it was almost, they got to be a contender. If the Canadians make the playoffs, it's house money. There's no pressure at all. And especially, if the Canadians make the playoffs, they're going to play Washington. There'll be zero expectation for them to win a game, right? So you rule them out, and you would also rule Ottawa out, right? So and then if Vancouver or Calgary, you rule those teams out as having a lot of pressure. Even if it'd be disappointing in Vancouver for them to finish lower down after finishing higher up last year, there wouldn't be the quote unquote pressure and mania around this could be our year, right? So this is an interesting debate to me.
Could get Toronto, Ottawa first round.
The potential for some of the first round matchups, Toronto, Ottawa in the first round, Winnipeg, Calgary in the first round, Winnipeg, Vancouver in the first round could be pretty cool.
Well, we do have a lot of Winnipeg fans.
Yes,
listening from WST. So please let us know what your thoughts are so you asked the question, Reid.
Yes.
What's your answer?
Here's why I think the Jets, there's arguments for every team. Toronto has Matthews. They went out and they hired Berube. Maybe this is it for Marner there, right? Is their window a little smaller if they don't do it this year, right? And it's Toronto. It's it's the center of the universe. The Oilers have the whole McDavid, Draisaitl window thing, right? Oh, there's another year. There's another year gone by. There's another year it didn't happen for those two big guys. But the Jets also have a team that has had a lot of the same core players for a while. They're going to get older eventually too. And the Jets, the last 2 first rounds, they've been eliminated. Now, one of those years, like when they lost to Vegas, they were a wild card team, but a very good wild card team, 46-33-5. A lot of people thought they would beat Vegas because the Jets had Connor Hellebuyck and the Golden Knights had Laurent Brossoit. Remember? He was the goaltender before he got hurt against Edmonton, and Hill took over. And they lost in 5. And then last year, they have 110 points. And didn't they beat Colorado 8-5 or something in the first game of the playoff? And then they lose to the Avalanche when it looked like they were going to have the upper hand in that series. So is it not hanging over the Jets a little bit? Man, oh man, you're a really good team that is not getting it done in the playoffs. And I know Edmonton and Toronto have dealt with this as well, but Edmonton's now been round 3, round 2, round 4. You know, Toronto got over the hump against Tampa Bay, you know, and looked a little better in the playoffs, though I know they lost to Florida. The Jets are sitting there thinking, okay, in 2020, you play Calgary, you lose in the qualifying round. Odd year, but you still lose. 2021, yes, they sweep the Oilers. Then they themselves are swept, but why on paper should have been a vastly inferior Montreal team. Then they miss the playoffs, and then they're out twice in the first round when it looked like they should at least be 50-50 to win those series. So here's another way to look at it. Winnipeg, Toronto, and Edmonton. If those teams all lose game 1 of the first round, whose callers get the tightest? Whose fan base is the most nervous? I think it's Winnipeg's. Because now with the Oilers, you can say they always lose game 1.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
They were down 2-1 to Dallas. They were down 2-1 to Vancouver. They won those series. Even Toronto, you can say, okay, we're getting a little battle tested here. If the Jets lose game 1 as the number 1 seed in the West, how tight does it get for that fan base? Right?
I just think the pressure in Toronto is higher. Right? Matt Hyman, I think Leafs with 4 $10 million players have a lot of pressure.
No, that's fair. I'm just presenting. That's just the angle I'm taking with Winnipeg and why I put that out there as buying or selling.
It's a great buying or selling.
To me, it's not. It's not like, oh, well, it's a small market Winnipeg. Oh, they're just so cute. No, they're damn good. But let's face it, they've been underwhelming a few postseasons now.
But that's what I'm saying. If they got to the into the third round, would that at least say for Winnipeg Jet fan base that we got off the schneid of getting bounced in the first round?
I don't think it should. I don't think it should.
I'm
if
not
you
saying
win the President's Trophy. Why would you as a fan be satisfied with a third round exit if they win the President's Trophy or first in the West?
I'm just saying, would you not just take that and be and say, well, at least we weren't the laughing stock of the league.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Whew. This is hot. This is tight. I don't know.
I just think that there's pressure on the Jets. And again, I know I'm looking at it from a very specific point of view, and it's a big what if. But this is how I sort of arrived at that question. If Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Toronto all fell behind 1-0 in their first round series, which fan base is like, oh crap, here we go again? I mean, of course, here at Edmonton, it'd be picked apart. We know what it's like. But I think a lot of people would be like, okay.
Well, Winnipeg fan base would say, here we go again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because...
But that,
in Edmonton, like I know this isn't. I know a lot of Oilers fans still say, "Well, we didn't win the cup," but Edmonton faced some significant challenges last year in the playoffs and got to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Winnipeg faced some significant challenges in the playoffs and didn't make it out of the first round. So I guess I'm saying with Winnipeg, if they struggle in the first game of the playoffs, I think their fans are more likely to go into here we go again territory mentally. I don't think Oilers fans and Leafs fans would do it that badly, quite frankly. Now, I'm not saying it would be smooth. Of course, there's mania surrounding it, but that's my point with Winnipeg, where the pressure argument comes in.
Okay, Ottawa goes into Toronto and goes up 2-0.
Okay, that's the wild card, is if it's the Senators and the Leafs.
Okay. The world will stop rotating.
Yeah.
Hi-yo. That's a great question, Reid.
Well, thank you.
And I think we can carry, we should do the other one too. Because this is now more Oilers based, but Oilers fans, how bad do you really want the Oilers to keep winning? I'm serious. Do you want them to catch Vegas? And as of right now, have to play either Minnesota or Colorado first round? Because that's who it's going to be. Or would you rather have the Kings again? You know, buying or selling, stay at second in the Pacific. For Oilers fans, I mean, that's a serious question. And that's not an easy out. Whether it be Minnesota, because Minnesota's a tough opponent for Oilers. They have been. And Colorado's Colorado.
Yeah. I'd sooner finish as high as possible and have home ice as long as possible.
That's the only silver lining, right? Is the home ice advantage.
780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, as we are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. It's time for a wing throwdown at the Canadian Brewhouse. Don't actually throw your wings on the floor. Imagine if somebody went in, hey, can I get some wings? Well, I heard Reid and Jay say we throw our wings on the floor. No, it's a wing throwdown as in a battle. Fuego Verde versus Honey Blaze. Who's taking the crown? Hit up the Canadian Brewhouse for wing night. Our house is your house. All right, we'll get to some more of your feedback. And, thumbs up. All of a sudden, people, all of a sudden, we're like, I guess I got to give a thumb up before the show is over.
I wasn't even thinking of getting the second word prepared.
We got a word of the day. We're 10 thumbs away from double word of the day territory. So people we went from 115 to 140 in 2 minutes. All of a sudden, when I reminded people, the show's ending, everybody. Maybe give us your thumbs.
I think it was because you said do it for Jay.
Do it for Jay. Keep doing it. Keep doing it for the glue guy.
Because we got to get to. It used to be 150, but we raised the stakes, so now we got to get to 100. Yeah.
All right. Here comes the Coob updating you.
Edmonton's Leon Draisaitl is doubtful with an undisclosed injury as the Oilers face the Jets. Plus, Evander Kane practiced during the team's optional skate this morning. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they tee up the action live at 6 right here on EST. 13 other games around the league, 3 of which are live. John Tavares taking a 1-0 lead for the Leafs over the Rangers. Timo Meier with the only goal for the Devils against the Flames. Flames down 1-0, and the Avs are up 3-0 early on the Senators. Nathan McKinnon, Brock Nelson, and Cale Makar finding the back of the net. All 3 of those games are nearing the end of 20 minutes. And March Madness continues. 4 games are live. Texas A&M up 19-9 on Yale. Tennessee leading 36-27 over Wofford. And 5 games around the NBA. The Raptors and Warriors go head-to-head. 2 games live. Knicks down 7 early against the Hornets. And the Nets up by 10 on the Pacers. Both of those games early in the second quarter. CONCACAF Nations League semifinals action goes down, seeing Canada take on Mexico down in LA. And Canada's Leila Fernandez has advanced to the third round of the Miami Open, winning 7-6 over America's Alicia Parks. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Welcome back, and just like that, Reid, we have smashed, we have eclipsed 155. We're on to 160. We thank you, Nasties. Hey, I wanted to mention something here because as that last segment, which was a great debate, and it might continue here a bit, was buying or selling for Damon Bunting Real Estate. Okay, Damon Bunting is one of the main sponsors in an event going on this weekend. If you're out in Sherwood Park or area, it's this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Sledge Hockey Day that the Robin Hood Association puts on. It is a great day. I've been there before. If you have a family and you don't have anything to do Saturday, go down and check it out. It's all for a great cause. There's lots of different raffles and silent auctions going on. You can try out sledge hockey. You can have a Zamboni tour, face painting. They take over Millennium Place. And Damon's a big part of that, as you guys know, of the Robin Hood Association Sherwood Park. So if you want more information, just go to the Robin Hood Association. It's robinhoodassoc.com. You can find all the information there.
All right. Yeah. Damon's a great friend of the show, great member of the community. And yeah, he's done just awesome what he does with Robin Hood. Leon Draisaitl, not expected to play tonight. Here is Coach Chris Knobloch after the morning skate.
Yeah, Leon tonight is doubtful to play tonight, and we'll treat this as day-to-day. And, we'll need guys obviously stepping up with Leon's absence, the way he's been playing, not necessarily lately, for the entire season.
And, I mean, would it be fair to say anything Leon's dealing with, you guys will be extra cautious, give him whatever time is needed, because obviously being healthy for the playoffs?
Absolutely. It's definitely being cautious. We're hitting the near the end of the regular season, hitting the playoffs. We want 100% from Leon when he's healthy, and this is something we do not want it to linger. Same thing we treated with Ekholm, something that he probably could have played through, the time off, benefited him lots. We feel that this is something that, probably could play through, and maybe it's not an issue. We certainly don't want it to be an issue for the long term, so this is definitely the right play, we believe. And, Leon has played through so much. He's a battler, so there's not too often that he comes out of the lineup, so we're just being cautious here.
All right. So, no, not having him against the Jets. He's a big loss every night, especially against this Jets team. We, guessing somewhat educated guess on the lines. Well, McDavid, Skinner, and Hyman. Knobloch suggested they will be together. Jay and I are putting Nuge with Podkolzin and Arvidsson, Henrique with Perry and Brown. Do you think Derek Ryan plays?
So who's coming out?
Well, Kapanen played pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, Leon's coming out.
Well,
so Jones doesn't come. So Jones stays out.
Yeah, sorry.
So maybe it's Jones. Maybe it's Ryan, Janmark and Kapanen?
I wouldn't mind that. I think having a Derek Ryan in the lineup gives you a lot more strength at the bottom and on your penalty kill.
Yeah. Just saying. Sheldon is predicting in the nasty chat, McD has one of his best games of the year tonight. Well, he might. Jay suggested that. I mean, we know Connor always wants to go out there and grab the game by the scruff of the neck, but does he put a little bit extra into this one because no Leon, because it's against the Jets, all that kind of stuff? And he's looked better the last few games, too.
That's a good point. Reid, on the morning show, they do a conch?
Yes.
For birthdays? Well, that's a morning show thing. We don't really do that, but Marco is a listener of ours. He asked for a conch for his 30th birthday. So I was hoping that maybe we could give him maybe some David Lee Roth to celebrate his birthday.
Whoa! Whoa!
I believe that's how David Lee Roth sings Happy Birthday.
I think it is. So there you go, Marco. This comes in from Andrew the accountant. I'll take first in the division, have home ice the whole way through. I think they can beat Mini or Colorado, but beating LA a fourth straight year might be tough.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But here's the thing, Reid. They did it a third straight year last year, and they did it a second year in a row the year before.
I know.
I'm not buying that. In a 7-game series, I'm not buying that. In a 3-game or 1-game, sure, because that happens in the NFL all the time. Oh, you can't beat a team 3 times in a year. This is a 7-game series.
River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. The number is 780-218-9999.
I know who you are.
All right. Double word of the day. We got there.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Did Ovechkin score, by the way?
I believe
Jasmine
so.
said Ovechkin scored. I find myself oddly disinterested in that chase. I don't know why.
Have you seen that TSN documentary on him, Greatness, where the EA is replaced with 8?
Yes, I've seen the ad, I think.
We watched it in our hotel room the other night because it was the only thing on TV.
And?
It was not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually.
I mean, he's going to get it. Okay, he'll get it. That's cool.
Coob, are
Sorry,
you on the...
Jasmine's like, Reid doesn't like anything. Kind of true.
Yeah, that's actually quite true. Jasmine, you've got it nailed. Coob, are you on the thinking? Okay. The first word of the day is stratagem. Stratagem.
Strategem.
Oh, Reid.
That's not right. Well, I went at that one confidently, didn't I?
You did. You went that. Oh, man, it was like your 18th birthday at Cook County. Stratagem.
Oh, jeez.
Stratagem.
Really?
Yes.
And a stratagem.
I think you should be able to get this.
It's basically another word for strategy, as far as I know. Or, yeah,
I'm going to give it to you.
It's another word. It's a type of approach to something, a plan.
A stratagem is a trick or plan for deceiving an enemy or achieving a goal.
Oh, so I didn't realize it has a deceptive element to it.
Or for achieving a goal.
Okay.
So you were.
But I guess, it leans. Well, yeah, maybe a half point. It leans.
So you're going to get 0.75.
0.75. Okay, thank you.
Second.
So you could say the Oilers have a strategy for beating the Jets, but you would maybe say the Oilers had a stratagem for making sure the refs gave them beneficial calls.
See?
Or some were deceiving. Something. So it implies some sort of dishonesty or deception. Stratagem. I didn't know that specifically.
To become
victorious. So I really didn't know the definition.
Yeah, 0.75.
I was 0.75 sort of ballparkish.
Yeah. Second word of the day, vernal. Vernal.
VERNAL.
No, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. That's on me.
Get out of here, tuba guy.
I'm sorry.
You bastard.
You're right. I pressed the wrong thing. I'm
okay, so no, I believe
this is an adjective.
I believe there is such a thing as the vernal equinox.
Ooh.
So I need to know what season.
Redirect.
I think today or maybe tomorrow might be the vernal equinox. So I will say it refers to there being an equal amount of daylight and darkness.
But what's tomorrow?
Or is tomorrow the solstice?
No. Tomorrow is the first day of what?
Spring. So vernal specifically refers to the spring equinox?
Okay, vernal.
No? Okay.
Describe something that relates to or occurs in the spring.
Oh, so I didn't know it then. I knew where I'd seen it. Maybe 0.25.
Well, you had 0.75, so I'm going to go ahead and give you 1.75. It's still a failing grade, but it's not that bad.
Because I spelled it. Right.
Oh, yeah, right. That's okay, so we're going to go at 2.
But yeah, you were pretty generous to give me 0.75
Well, that's my
for
first
strategy.
time back. I'm feeling a little good. It is such a relief after a long, cold winter to see the trees and flowers in their glorious vernal bloom.
So vernal is anything that happens in the springtime.
Yeah.
So are the Stanley Cup playoffs a vernal event?
Obviously.
So is the Masters...
They should call it vernal training.
So I think we just now refer to the Masters as our favorite vernal tournament. And people will be like, is Vern Al a player? Or what's going on? Okay, we got to go. Tom and Hernan are taking over the stream. GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. I'm driving to Rogers Place to take in the game. Thanks to the Coop. Thanks to the Glue Guy. Talk to you later.